Lowe, and I'm bringing you industry insiders and those in the know to share all the buzzworthy products sweeping social media and influencer trends.
And I'm Shop All Day contributor Jen Fallick, and I love finding the best versions of everyday items in better basics.
This is Shop All Day, Tried and True. Hi, I'm Shop All Day contributor Chassie Post, and we're back today with another episode of Shop All Day. And today, we are all about tried and true products. You know, those cult classics from the OG navy blazer to the ultimate red lipstick that's made a mark in pop culture. We have you covered with nostalgic finds and favorites too. And remember, see that QR code at the bottom of your screen? You can use the camera on your smartphone to scan it for instant access to the products on the show today. So let's get to it. So, this nautical-inspired classic piece has an interesting origin. Legend has it that it can trace its roots back to Queen Victoria's Royal Navy. Other stories trace it back to the British rowing team, but there's one thing we know for sure. This blazer has been a go-to staple for men, women, and children for hundreds of years. And this is a really great example of the trend. So first of all, it's got everything we look for the classic navy blazer. It's got those peaked lapels, the gold buttons with the nautical insignia. It's also got this wonderful nipped-in waist, a beautifully tailored jacket, and it also hits at the waist in a really flattering point, gives you a little bit of hip coverage. It's also got some modern updates. So it's a modified double-breasted, and it's also got stretch in the fabric. So it's really comfortable, so you can wear it buttoned or not. Now, if you don't have a navy blazer, go for the navy first, right? But it also comes in lots of different colors. I mean, how amazing is this bright classic red? Oh my goodness. And it also comes in white and black and even a pink. Another never go wrong wardrobe staple is a piece that we all need in our closets. The LBP, or the little black pant. And I have to say that I have owned a lot of pair of black pants in my day, and not all of them have deserved the moniker of the LBP. So experience has shown that when I find a pair of really great fitting black pants, that I turn to them again and again, whether I'm going to work or for a night on the town or just running around getting my errands done. And I think you guys are going to love this pair that we found today. They're from J. Crew. They're the slim crop pant in a 4-season stretch. They're calling it the ultimate 12-month-a-year, 7-day-a-week pant. And let me tell you, it is really, really comfortable. It's got this wonderful give, but it won't bag out on you. And I really like the silhouette. So it's a great slim cut, but it's cropped, which I think is really flattering. I really like seeing a bit of the ankle. Now it comes in sizes from 0 to 24 and 3 different lengths. And if you don't have a great fitting pair of black pants that make you look and feel good, go for the black, but they also come in lots of other different great colors. Now on to a tried and true boot that has been around for a few hundred years and is just as popular today, the equestrian or riding boot. Tally ho! So these boots were actually invented to protect from the elements and protect legs on horseback. But you don't have to ride horses to get in on this trend. In fact, this boot has stayed around for so long because it's as functional as it is good looking. And these boots will keep you warm and dry whether you're running to work or going to that tailgate. Now, designers have been really inspired by equestrian trends for as long as I can remember. And this season, it's no different. We're seeing equestrian details everywhere. And this boot is such a wonderful take on the equestrian boot. It's by Tommy Hilfiger, and it has truly everything we look for in this trend. It's got the rounded toe, it's got the 1-inch heel, it's knee height, and it's got this great cuff here. But Mr. Hilfiger has added some modern conveniences. For one, it's faux leather, and there's a zipper that runs the full side of the boot. And this is important because the traditional riding boot, it sometimes takes 2 people to take these off. Now, this boot comes in 3 different colors, and the black, actually, I think this is pretty interesting, is the formal riding boot in the equestrian circles. And this is a really well-made boot for the price, and truly an excellent example of the trend. Let's talk about another tried and true staple, the ballet flat. Now, the ballet flat was inspired by the French ballerinas in the 1800s. Then it made its way to the US in the 40s with Claire McCardle, who did a street version, but it really took off thanks to Brigitte Bardot. She talked to French designer Rose Repetto into making a flat for her that was inspired by the ballet shoes, but had a little bit more structure so she could run around town. Then she wore it in the classic film, And God Created Women, and the iconic ballet flat was launched. We saw it on everyone from Audrey Hepburn to Jackie Kennedy, and it's just as popular today. We see it on lots of royals, we see it on lots of celebrities, and on lots of normal people like me. And I was really so excited when I found this take on the trend. These are by Nine West, and it's got the wonderful rounded ballet shape. It also has a cap toe, which is super chic. It's got the little tie here, and these are really comfortable. So typically, a ballet flat sometimes has a slimmer sole, but these have a rubber sole, which has great shock absorption, and they've got a really cushiony footbed. And check out that heel, that little flash of metallic, so fabulous. And these flats come in so many different color combos. Now let's talk about some tried and true beauty products. So here we have the Pond's Cold Cream Makeup Remover and Cleanser. And this product was created in 1907. It was actually the first moisturizer to not need refrigeration. And the brand says that one tub of this is sold every 4 minutes. So it's just as popular today as it was then. And here's what I think shoppers love so much about it. It's a 2-in-1 product. So not only is it a makeup remover, but it's also a cleanser. And it really does get even the most stubborn makeup off. Like even the waterproof mascara, and the cleanser is really, really moisturizing. Next, this cherry red lipstick has been a cult favorite since 1953. It's Revlon's Super Lustrous Cherries in the Snow lipstick. And what people love so much about this lipstick is its formulation is so rich, and the color is a beautiful balance between pink and red. And in fact, I mean, because this color sort of straddles the line between warm and cool tones, we've actually heard this lipstick described as the lipstick equivalent of the one-size-fits-all t-shirt. What that means is it looks great on lots of different complexions and skin tones. And the price is right. So if you've been wanting to try out, you know, the bright, bold lip that we're seeing everywhere this season, then this is a great lipstick to get you started. And lastly, this award-winning polish launched in 1982 and has always been popular. This is the Essie Ballet Slippers nail polish, and the brand says that over 800 bottles of this color is sold every single day. And this color acts kind of like a camouflage, and it helps to cover up maybe imperfections in your nail. And it's also been called universally flattering, meaning that it looks great on pretty much every skin tone. What I also love about this nail polish is it's appropriate for every age. It's just as appropriate for your daughter or your niece as it is for your grandmother. Let's run through all the products one more time. We've got the navy blazer, the crop pant, the equestrian boot, the ballet flats, the Pond's Cold Cream, the Revlon Cherries in the Snow lipstick, and the Essie Ballet Slippers nail polish. That's it for Style Finder. Up next, Mikaela Shiffrin is talking to Catherine Lowe, who you remember from Sean's season on The Bachelor. Yep, she married him. She's now an entrepreneur and mother of 3. And later, Jen Fallick has tried and true better basics, including mixing bowls that have been serving nostalgia for generations. So stay with us.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. There is some late-breaking news.
All right,
News is more than a headline. It informs, it inspires, and it still matters. To cover it, you have to be in it. And that's what we're gonna do. Every night, we take you to the front lines of the story, where it's actually happening. with NBC News journalists on the ground from all over the world. We cover what you need to know and bring your newsfeed to life. In primetime and streaming live, it's your news playlist every night.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work, or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today Food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Is that ready? Are you ready? Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work, or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition. Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. There is some late-breaking news.
All right, it's
Hi, welcome back. I'm Makon Jovu, and this is Influencer Trends, where I'll be talking to industry insiders, and they'll share their favorite products and the must-have items to shop for right now. And don't forget the QR code at the bottom of your screen. Use the camera on your smartphone and scan it to shop these products. And today, we're all about items that have stood the test of time. From Insta classics to nostalgic brands passed down for generations. I am so excited today because we have entrepreneur and mom, Catherine Lowe. She is the founder of LoweCo Concierge and LoweCo, which her social media says is Spanish for crazy and English for chic. Catherine, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. Excited to chat with you. Now, I stalk you on Instagram, and you've just got the most adorable family. You've got 3 little ones at home, and I want to know, what has surprised you the most about motherhood?
Oh gosh, I feel like my heart has grown with each child, and you're thinking, how can your heart be more than it is? And it just surprises me every day how much I can love multiple people and still just function.
Oh, that's so cute. Listen, we also love you and Sean's love story. We followed you guys for so long. What do you think we would be most surprised to learn about your relationship?
That we're really lame.
No way.
Honestly.
I don't believe it.
For sure. Lame. Our happy place is being at home and watching Netflix. Like, we put the kids down at 7 so that we can have our own time. And that's just our comfortable place. So it feels like we have a date night every night.
Oh, I love that. Date night every night. That's the key to a successful marriage. Now, one of the things that I love about you is how you are so proud of your Filipino culture, right? How your identity is rooted in that. And with these 3 little ones that you have at home, what kind of traditions are you passing on to them?
Well, I'm making sure, one, that they respect people and their culture. So we really talk about how everyone came from somewhere different and they grew up differently. And there's beautiful things about where everyone came from. But specifically about my Filipino heritage, I make sure that they eat Filipino foods or they understand certain Tagalog words in the Filipino languages and how to treat your Filipino elders. My mom did it to us. And now as an adult, I'm seeing how important it was and how influential it was growing up. So I'm really trying to instill that in my children.
And that's beautiful. I can't wait to see as they get older how they sort of hold that in within them. Okay, so let's talk about your business, LoweCo. What inspired you to start your business?
So I was a graphic designer at Amazon before I met Jon Lowe. So I was really passionate about greeting cards and creating like consumable keepsakes. Mm-hmm. And I also was obsessed with the idea of having them be somewhat sustainable. One of my main things that I absolutely love that is a coveted collection is our cards that grow. And these are cards that are embedded with seeds. And not only are the seeds plantable, they grow into different herbs and then wildflowers, depending on the color that you get. But we also have envelopes that are made from recycled paper. And we have the sleeve that is compostable. So like, it's a very, very conscious collection. Everything about it, I love. So we have a blue one that's made out of parsley seeds.
That's so cool.
And it says, "Oh, so very grateful." And you can write a lot of them right on them, right? And then the person that receives them can actually plant them in a garden and it will grow those herbs or wildflowers. So it comes with an instruction card.
That is so cool. It's the gift that keeps on giving. So just to be clear, you don't put the actual card in water. It's the seeds that grow that come with the card.
You put the card, so you saturate the whole card, and then the seeds will kind of come out of the paper because you're saturating with water. And then you plant it because you'll start to see like little seeds sprouting from the card.
That is so genius, Catherine. I'm obsessed with it. Another one that you also brought with this are these cards. Now, these are just perfect. I think these would be great for gifting to like a grandfather, a father figure. Tell me about these.
These are called our Noir collection. So they're black and they're blind embossed, which is our signature look. We don't like print on them. We actually just press the sayings in it. And this one says, "Best day ever." Cute. But they're great. You can put them as gift tags on a very chic, Christmas box or package, and men really, really like these. We have one that has lips on it. So like if I wanted to be cheeky and send Sean Lowe one, this one's very like, hey, let's watch Netflix again tonight.
I love that. So let's transition from the cards, which we absolutely love. Let's talk about this concealer, which is so great. I mean, we love concealer. Now, do you stick with the same shade when it comes to concealer, or do you go a shade lighter?
I mix. So I have a lighter shade that can go for when I'm like in the winter. And then I also have one that's a little bit truer to my coloring. I personally like brightening my under eyes, but I mix them. So I think my color is fair, light, neutral, and medium honey. And these are really just great. And I've been a absolute tried and true consumer of these guys.
I love that you can build up the coverage as well. And getting two colors is so great because you conceal, but you can also lighten and brighten. Okay, let's move on to the Charlotte Tilbury. We have the lipstick and the lip pencils as well. Now, why should we get the kit together?
The base of the lip liner, it just makes it stay really well. I've sometimes, if I forgot my lipstick somewhere, at least I have the lip liner and I can use that because I know the coverage is going to be great. It's going to stay a long time. What I love about Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks and lip stuff is that they're moisturizing. Like they do not dry out your lips and they stay really well.
They really do. And they're ageless too. The colors are fantastic. And last but not least, let's transition to hair. Now, Catherine, I have to ask you about this dry shampoo because I often wonder, does it work on all hair textures or does it just work on straighter hair?
No, it works on all hair textures. And because you see a lot of dry shampoos that have starch in them, this does not have starch in it, which means it's clear. And I'm a brunette. Whenever I put dry shampoo in, you can tell because you can see it and it looks all white and yucky. Well, this is clear. It has no starch in it and you spray your roots.
Oh, spray your roots.
It kind of makes your hair damp. So the best time to do it is at night because then you wake up as if your hair was washed. Oh. It's amazing. There's no buildup. I have been constantly using this because we don't have time to wash our hair, but we have time to spruce it up. A little spritz goes a long way.
We love a product that works for everybody. And we love you, Catherine. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
You too.
Now, let's run through all the products one more time. First up, we have the cards that grow, the Noir collection of cards, the Tarte Shape Tape, the Pillow Talk Lip Kit, and the Healthy Dry Scalp Shampoo. And just so you know, Today works with affiliate partners and earns a commission on purchases made through our links at today.com. Up next, Jen Fallon continues with tried and true products in the kitchen from a nostalgic set of bowls that have been mixing it up for 100 years to an instant classic line of bags that'll help the environment. Don't go away.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
People really don't know what's going to happen. Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. More good people than bad people, I know, right? 5 seconds. 4, 3. There is some late-breaking news 4 hours into the Iowa caucuses by the banter deliberative.
All right, it just did too.
People really don't know what's going to happen. Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. More good people than bad people, I know, right? 5 seconds. 4, 3. There is some late-breaking news 4 hours into the Iowa caucuses by the banter deliberative.
All right, it just did too. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today. Let's go! International Day of the Girl.
The strength and courage of these women is remarkable.
What's your message to girls who want to make a difference?
Believe in yourself. You can make it happen.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today Food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day Kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready? Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work, or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Hi, I'm Shop All Day contributor Jen Fallick, and welcome back to Shop All Day, where we have been talking about tried and true products. I'm taking you into the kitchen and the home for some fan favorites that have stood the test of times and some Insta classics, including a sponge that is cleaning up in a whole new way. See the QR code on the bottom of your screen? Simply scan it with the camera on your smartphone for instant access to all the products on the show today. So let's get started with a personal and a fan favorite from Dyson. The power of a giant vacuum. You can do all the things you can do with a giant vacuum with these, and the convenience of a stick. They're under 7 pounds, and they come in so many different versions that there really is something for every need and every budget. Personally, in our home, we own 2, and we have them always within an arm's reach at the ready to pick up crumbs, to pick up, dirt that my dog tracks in. We love the newest version. This is the V15. This one has a green laser light that shoots out of the front and illuminates all the dust particles in your path. There's also a sensor that automatically adjusts the power level to match how gnarly your floors are on any given day. The tried and true starter that gets rave reviews all the time is the V7. The V7 is kind of like the classic. It works on all floor types, and it can be used as a stick and a handheld. I love the handheld option too, because for vacuuming out the car and getting that clean, the handheld comes in handy big time. From vacuums onto a steam mop, this family-owned company has been making cleaning solutions for over 140 years. This right here is the Bissell Power Fresh Steam Mop, and this uses the power of steam, simply steam, to get rid of germs and bacteria. Also, it has a scrubber, so if you don't have the opportunity to get to something that you need to clean right away and it sort of hardens on the floor, you can simply use the scrubber option, attach it right on, and it's going to get rid of any dirt and grime, even if it's dried up. It's got over 34,000 reviews and a 4.5 star rating on Amazon. This is a winner. Next, Cuisinart. Cuisinart is the go-to in appliances for all sorts of kitchen needs. The brand really prides itself on constantly innovating, and they make products that perform well enough for professional chefs and also are easy enough to use for everyday home cooks such as myself. This handheld mixer has 9 speed options, and it's really easy to operate. And it comes with a smooth start feature that eliminates splatters, really helpful if you're cooking with kids. I love that it comes with its own snap-on clear storage case, so you never lose parts. When it's not in use, everything is contained right inside. And it includes beaters, a chef's whisk, dough hooks, a spatula, and an instruction and recipe book. Now that we have the mixer, we need to get some mixing bowls. And these mixing bowls remind me of cooking with my grandma when I was a little kid. There's so much nostalgia in this next tried and true brand. This is the Pyrex 100-year glass mixing bowl set, something that they created in honor of their 100th anniversary. And I love the ribbed glass. I just think it makes these bowls beautiful enough to bring to a potluck dinner, but also still practical to use for everyday mixing. Each set includes a 3-cup, 6-cup, 10-cup, and 4.5 quart bowl with purple, green, blue, and red lids. And even though this iconic brand is over 100 years old, these bowls suit all of the modern lifestyle conveniences. They're microwave, fridge, freezer, and dishwasher safe. All the same conveniences, modern yet classic, a real tried and true. Now on to Yeti, which has turned insulated drinkware and coolers into an art form over the past 15 years. It's really amazing how fast this brand has changed everything about the way we transport beverages and coolers on the go. The Yeti travel cups are a must-have. This is actually one of my go-to gifts because everyone who I've ever given this to absolutely loves it. These have become the ultimate status tailgate accessory and an outdoor essential for everything from hiking, camping, backyard cocktails, simply being, a mom like me on the go all day and wanting to have your beverage with you. The tops on the Yeti cups are truly leak-proof and they're really easy to clean. You can take all the elements apart and throw them in the dishwasher, and this way nothing gets stuck. The stainless steel construction, double wall insulation, all of the details are what make this perfect for on the move adventures. And you'll see, even here alone, there's so many versions to choose from. There's something for every occasion. And they all have their signature mag slider lid, which you can see here. It makes it so it's leak-proof, but really easy, even with one hand, to open up and take a sip. Yeti has also upped the game on color choices. So there's classics, there's trendy options, truly something for anyone you ever need to get a gift for. Next, 2 newer products that have totally changed the game. First, stasher bags. Right now, people are all about getting rid of single-use plastics. Stasher bags, really the first 100% plastic-free, endlessly reusable bags with a patented pinch lock seal. So you'll see, we put some sliced up little peppers in here. I love sending these for snacks with my kids or having them in the car when I pick them up from school. Pinch lock seal means that it is not going to leak, and you can kind of feel it. When it's closed, you don't have to worry that everything's going to go flying everywhere. These are dishwasher and microwave safe. And with the 56 fluid ounce capacity in one mouth, the stand-up is the perfect companion for the foodie in all of us. It's so easy to pour leftovers in here too because it stands up on its own. And for beauty enthusiasts, the pocket is great. I store my lip glosses in here. You can put bobby pins for my kids' dance classes. I stick bobby pins inside. Also, just an easy way to kind of color code your life. I love pouches for everything. These pouches take it up a notch. Oh, hack, after you wash them, put the open bag upside down on a pot lid organizer. That's gonna help it dry really fast. Or you can even put it over the top of a wine bottle. Sometimes it helps it to dry quickly. And then it's good to go, we use it again. And finally, a personal favorite of mine, these are sponges, Skura style sponges, innovative sponges created by 2 moms. They wanted to take the ick out of the whole sponge situation. They're antimicrobial and odor resistant. A smart detail on these, you guys, is that they have this scrubber side. Of course, it's great to scrub things that you need to scrub, but also it has fade to change technology. When you see this logo start to fade, that's when you know it's time to change your sponge. Let's go through these products one more time. And remember to scan the QR code on your screen to get instant access to these items. We've got the Dyson cordless vacuum, the Bissell steam mop, the Cuisinart mixer, the Pyrex mixing bowl set, the Yeti travel cup, the Stasher reusable bag, and Skura style sponges. And that's a wrap on all of your better basics and for our show. It's been so fun sharing our favorites with you. and tune in next Thursday for another episode of Shop All Day.
My name's Jon Stewart. I've been away from television for some time. This is what I look like now.
First thing, I mean, how did it feel to be back in front of an audience? Were you like, sweet studio audience, or were you nervous?
Because of the COVID, I'm still not very pleased, like, when anybody exhales. Like, I just sort of thought, like, all right, let's do this like free diving. We're gonna go into the studio, we're gonna hold our breath for as long as we can hold it, and then we're out of there. But so I'm still not as comfortable. I have performed since then. You know, Dave Chappelle put together this kind of great stand-up series and music series, all this stuff, in a cornfield in Ohio. So I've done a little bit of that. So I was around some audience. Although it's funny, when we did it in the field, everybody had to be masked because this was still early on. So there was no vax, so there was no nothing. And it felt a little bit like a Faustian bargain. Like, you can perform, you can do your comedy, but you can see no one's mouths. You can see no smiles. So
That's hard as a performer, isn't it?
you look for the crinkle in the eye. You come back off stage, you go like, oh my God, did you see the crinkle? I was killing out there.
So crinkly.
Why would I go back to a visual medium? I could have done a podcast.
Unfortunately, it was my idea. I'm the idiot that cajoled myself. So yeah, I'm excited to do it. It felt like a nice evolution of the kinds of conversations that we've been having on The Daily Show and things like that.
Let's just get this out of the way. Is it funny?
There are hopefully there are moments of humor and levity. I mean, that's kind of what I do. I mean, it sort of starts, if you had seen kind of the things that we've done on The Daily Show, it begins with kind of a more Daily Show-esque essay at the top, sort of a more visual video essay to kind of orient the audience to whatever topic or issue that we're discussing. And then it moves on to things that are probably a little bit less familiar for that audience. But depending on the topic, yeah, I mean, certainly the episode on toxic exposures in the military is slightly less amusing than, let's say, the Freedom episode. But you know, it's of a similar piece, and we have some humor in it, we hope.
We're talking about this country. What's okay, what isn't? What are the priorities? That has to change or nothing will change.
I thought watching it, the answer is yes, it's funny. It'll make you laugh, but it also might make you cry.
Oh, well, hold on a second.
Thank you.
I'm going to use that on the, it makes you laugh, it makes you cry. That's going right on the magazine head, Savannah. I'm going to put that in quotes. Savannah Guthrie, Today's Show. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry.
Maybe I missed my career in marketing.
Yes, I think that's exactly right. You're the blurb queen. Everybody who said, I'm going to talk to Savannah Guthrie, said, are you talking about the blurb queen?
Oh, yeah. Blurb.
She can blurb it like nobody blurbs it.
People really don't know what's going to happen. Nearly a dozen hours after the Eye roared ashore. More good people than bad people, you know, right? 5 seconds. 4, 3. There is some late-breaking news 4 hours into the Iowa caucuses. Private banter delivers.
All right, it just me too.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now. For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
I'm Jon Stewart. Why don't we begin tonight with something non-controversial? We support our troops unless they actually need support.
There's a lot of it that feels like The Daily Show, but it also is going a lot deeper. And I don't mean deeper into the controversy. You're going deeper into the substance.
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's, part of the experience of the last few years has been realizing that some of the things that you believe are the obstacles to certain progress or certain improvements and things that just seem obvious are not what's actually going on. Like the Today Show, like you're in there every day, man. You make your bones on volume. Like no matter what, you're there. And you can create that impression. And it felt to me maybe a chance to step back for a second and maybe look at the system.
I don't think I'm going to miss being on television every day. I'm going to miss coming here every day.
Was there any part of you that decided to come back to TV because of anything that's happened in the last 5 years where you felt like, I am dying to get this off my chest? I wish I had a show right now, because if I did, I would say this.
Not really. I mean, I feel like I get things. I mean, maybe that's because of stand-up, but I feel like I get to get things off my chest all the time. I have children. I get to unburden myself at breakfast and dinner almost every day. One of the audience members said, these past 5 years, you've missed so much, the entirety of the Trump administration and the pandemic. And I had to say that, just so you know, like, I am still alive in the world. Like it's, I think there's a sense sometimes that when you're not on television, you stop existing because that's how people sort of see you. Yeah. It really had more to do with an idea I had about one of the reasons why I left The Daily Show is I felt that I had stagnated, that I really I couldn't think of how to evolve that format in a meaningful enough way that it made sense to stay. And, people have asked me, did you feel the pressure from the audience and things like that? I never felt that, but you do from the staff. You know that, like, you've got this staff, they're young, they're really talented, they're hungry, they're industrious, and your mind's wandering.
I love the people here. They're the best. They're creative and collaborative and kind and that's alliterative, but it's cheating because it's a K. But you understand what I'm saying. I love them and respect them so much. Yeah!
And so that's not fair to them. Yeah. And this idea that I had was the first time I felt like, oh, that feels like an evolution to me that makes sense, that's organic, and that I feel invested in. And so I think that was more the motivation of it. And also the children and Tracy have had enough of me. I think that was a lot of it as well. They just thought like, office in New York, get up there maybe 3-5 times a week. Not a bad thing.
People really don't know what's going to happen. Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. More good people than bad people, right?
5 seconds. 4, 3.
There is some late-breaking news.
4 hours until the Iowa caucuses.
By the banter deliberations.
All right, it just me too.
Grab your apron for a new podcast, Cooking Up a Storm with Al Roker.
My forecast, yummy.
Some of the best chefs spill the beans on family secrets to get you ready for Thanksgiving.
This is fun. Bringing the heat for the holidays.
Follow now wherever you get your podcasts.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition. Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
I don't have any specific plans. Got a lot of ideas. I got a lot of things in my head.
We need to talk about this new pastime of yours that happened during the interregnum, during the time you were off The Daily Show.
Yes.
You've gotten a new talent. Do you want to tell the viewers about it?
First of all, very kind of you to say a new talent.
I didn't say you were talented.
I have a new, let's say this, I have a new behavioral tick involving drumsticks. It's something I'd always wanted to interact with music. I think if I could, most comedians I think are probably frustrated musicians, and I've always wanted to do it, and it turns out guitar is really hard. And so I picked up a guitar and I tried that, and I thought, oh, that's going to be like 5 to 7 years before I can just play Blackbird poorly. But I do know how to hit things and bang on them, done that. And so I started that, not realizing obviously the intricacies and how complex and difficult really playing drums is. But it does allow you to put on headphones and put on some of your favorite music and kind of, bang away at it. And I've loved it. I wish I had more time for it. I wish I was better at it.
Okay, how does the family feel about your drum playing?
Well, if you can imagine you're living with an older gentleman who won't stop doing this. Hey man, how's the pizza?
You have the drummer's overbite.
Oh, the drummer's overbite. Sometimes you shut the eyes. But you can imagine, so I'm generally annoying because I like to talk a lot. So at meals, that's annoying. And then when you add tapping, that elevates it to an entirely new scale of, oh my God, when do I get to go to college?
Well, let's go back to the show. You do something in the show that you didn't ever do at The Daily Show, which is you went out in the field and actually conducted an interview.
Yes.
One-on-one.
Yes.
It wasn't humorous. The first interview you did was with our Veterans Affairs Secretary, member of the cabinet. It was tense.
This delay is killing people. Yes. As soon as I was out there, I was like, oh my God, is this what the correspondents had to do? This is awful. I don't like this at all. Yeah, you're just sitting there in a room and there's no audience and there's the lights and you're like, hey, I think this guy might be getting mad at me. This isn't good. How am I going to get out of this?
It's really unpleasant.
Yeah, I don't care for it. Very tense.
Does that mean you're going to be nicer to the media in this new show?
No.
Should people expect you to skewer the media as you did? Should Fox News be scared?
One question didn't seem to really come up that much, which is, what is Fox?
Listen, man, I was on every day for 16 years. They weren't scared. So I don't think anybody should be scared of anything that we do, but hopefully, we'll still hopefully have that same eye for hypocrisy or, contradictions, things like that. but maybe a more realistic eye of like what the efficacy of pointing that out is, which apparently is very low.
What about dissent?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you want to bring in dissenting views? Would you ever want to do, dare I say it, a crossfire style interview or debate with someone? Does that appeal to you at all?
I mean, debate is always, I mean, anytime you have an opportunity, I mean, I think that like the interview that we did, it wasn't necessarily crossfire, but it certainly wasn't two like-minded individuals sitting down. I mean, I think you always want to hear, I think the question is that idea of opposing viewpoints, because it sets it up as a kind of a binary. And I think if anything that I've kind of figured out over the years is there's very little binary that exists other than within kind of a media construct, because as you know, like the difficulty with media is it has to be producible. So I think the benefit of not having to do something with a recipe where the elements of it have to always be somewhat similar so that you can make it, gives you an opportunity to maybe move in directions that you wouldn't normally have to move in. And so I don't look at it as, oh, we're going to get a contrary, we're going to get the pro and we're going to get the con, because so little of these issues really revolves around that. It actually generally revolves around there's an obstacle in the system, or it's incentivized in such a way that these are the outcomes that are happening. So it's more, you know what I would imagine it is in some ways? It's like WebMD. It's diagnostic. And I think it's sort of hard to figure out what to do about something if the diagnosis isn't quite right. And so I think part of this is diagnostic.
What's really the problem with Jon Stewart?
That's right. You hope, or not, or this could be completely wrong. You know, that can be sometimes the problem with something that's theoretical. Is you have this idea of how you want to diagnose something, but when you're met with the reality of it, it's quite different.
It's been 6 years since The Daily Show. Is there anything in your perspective that has changed, or any new information, or just your own evolution that you're bringing to this show that you didn't have 6 years ago?
It's hard to say, because you probably have to be a little bit more self-aware. You know, like, I'm trying to think, like, what have I learned in 6 years?
I basically ask you, like, have you grown, Jon Stewart?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you hope, but that's one of those that I think it's hard to say. I mean, I can certainly tell you physically I haven't. In fact, the opposite. You know, you would hope that there's an evolution and there are things you've learned and you do things better. And unfortunately, that just generally leads you to revelations of the things you still don't do right, or the places for growth that you still need to address. It's all kind of, I wish it were, you know, the arc of the moral universe for people is long, but it bends towards better. But I think we all know it's peaks and valleys and ups and downs.
I'm gonna have dinner on a school night with my family, who I have heard from multiple sources are lovely people.
You like to think you're on that kind of nice linear slope up of evolution and betterment, but boy, it's Sisyphean. Is that a word? Sisyphean.
Let me get dictionary.com again. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go. You grow a little bit, you slide, you think. You know what the problem is? The problem with Jon Stewart is you don't know what your blind spots are because you're blind to them. And so you can shine a light on one area and grow in that area, and all of a sudden this other shadow appears. And, you know, I think that's kind of that's the whole game, isn't it?
It's very human. It's very, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Finally, I read that you said in the time after, I don't want to call it your retirement. You didn't retire. I know. I know I'm like, you're mad at me now because I keep suggesting that.
No, it's not. It's fine.
No, but
it's not anything I haven't thought of.
In this period of time, I read you felt like being away from that daily grind. You said that life got richer and more colorful, and I liked that. But can you tell me more? Like, can you elaborate?
Well, it's probably some. You know that feeling because you are. Listen, man, you guys are there every day, and the harder part about what you do is you're doing what we did on the Daily Show, but you're doing it at 4 a.m. Or that's not a complaint. Everybody's got a job to do, and those jobs have parameters. But I felt like the Daily Show, it's like looking through life through that tube, the cardboard roller that you pull out of a paper towel roll. And so you have a sense that kind of becomes your world, that you're so hyper focused on this one thing that it gives you this really narrow field of view. And then when you leave it, there's this expectation that you've somehow diminished your life and experience by removing this incredible opportunity you had, this incredible success you had. And so you remove the tube, and then you go, oh my God. It feels like one of those videos where the guy puts on the glasses for the first time and sees colors, where you're just like, oh, I had no idea that all this was going on. And it was kind of a beautiful, there was a weird, I think for the first few months after leaving the show, I was a little Forrest Gumpy, like just out in the world, like, how, what? You don't need to swipe the card, you just hold it up and suddenly the groceries are yours? Impossible, outrageous. I love it. It was that kind of thing. So,
you're emerging from like the space-time continuum.
Yeah, there's a little bit of Rip Van Winkle to it. And I think even to the point of just being able to pick the kids up from school, I had experienced fatherhood in the crying times. Like it was always getting them ready for school or getting them ready for bed. Yeah. So it was always those moments of like, I don't want to do that and I don't want to do that. And you were like, these children seem peculiar and resistant. So having those moments of just picking them up from school and driving them home and listen to the conversation in the back where they aren't as aware of you're in there, it's so much more revelatory and lovely. And so I really appreciated that. And I think that informed how I went back to doing another television show. Because I didn't want to put myself in another position where my field of view got so narrowed again. I really wanted to have the satisfaction of the work without that other element of just to the detriment of all these other things in life. I believe they refer to it as balance.
I was just about to say, Jon Stewart, sounds like you have it all.
What?
Ding! I was looking for a good little ending. How do you like that as an ending?
It's nice. Obviously, you have it all, but still live within my own head, which, as you know, not a pleasant.
That's not a good, this isn't a good ending. Now you're like, you're messing it all up. Now it's getting all complicated.
Yeah, that's probably true. Sorry about that.
Thank you so much for doing it. Did I miss anything that we should have talked about that you were having on, that you wanted to get off your chest? Did I screw it up?
I was a little surprised, I asked my doctor, why is my hair completely gray? And he's like, your body stops producing the coloring. And I was like, can your body just do that? So that was just something I wanted to talk about, that I didn't realize that parts of your body die before the rest of you. It's sort of like, you ever go to a deli and it's like 8 and you going in for a sandwich, but they've put all the saran wrap on all this, and you're like, hey man, can I get a sandwich? You're like, no, we put it away. And you're like, but it's a deli and I'd like a sandwich. You're like, yeah, no. We don't make those anymore until tomorrow. And that's what your body does. It's like, it's shut down before you're like, but I'm still using my head.
Yeah.
Like,
what
yeah, no.
Okay, I'm gonna try to work that in. It'll flow. Let me see what I can do. But I'm not a magician, for God's sakes.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today. Let's go! International Day of the Girl.
The strength and courage of these women is remarkable.
What's your message to girls who want to make a difference?
Believe in yourself. You can make it happen.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now. Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today Food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day Kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
Grab your apron for a new podcast, Cooking Up a Storm with Al Roker.
My forecast, yummy.
Some of the best chefs spill the beans on family secrets to get you ready for Thanksgiving.
This is fun. Bringing the heat for the holidays.
Follow now wherever you get your podcasts.
Inside Levi's Stadium, home to the San Francisco 49ers, a very different kind of huddle.
You accomplish your individual goal when the team accomplishes their goal.
Star NFL players, staff, and dozens of specially drafted local kids discovering the power of mentorship. After being kept apart by COVID, they're finally meeting in person.
Zoom is cool, but this is even better, right?
Part of a groundbreaking partnership between an organization called 100 Black Men, working with Bay Area boys and girls, now joining forces with the 49ers. Sharing stories and advice on leadership, networking, health and wellness, and financial literacy.
Football is only for so long, but us touching one of those kids, that lasts a lifetime.
Linebacker Fred Warner and defensive lineman Eric Armstead are some of the biggest names in the game.
We play football on Sundays, but we also have a lot more to give than just playing football.
What you do outside of the stadium is as important as what you do inside.
Absolutely.
More important.
There you go.
More important. Why?
What you do inside the stadium obviously gives you the platform, but what you do with that platform is more important. It's more impactful. Even if you're fortunate enough to get your name up here in the stadium, that will go away, but how you impact people and how you help people will remain after you're gone.
That support means the world to 17-year-old Jonathan Martin.
A mentor is somebody who will have your back.
A star student with over a 4.0 GPA, like so many other kids, he struggled with anxiety and stress throughout the pandemic.
It has definitely been isolating. Just not able to have any interaction has been very tough.
He said connecting with his 49er mentors helped pull him through.
They taught me to keep going, persevere. This is going to end one day. So just having the mentors there to coach me up and tell me that these things will be over with and that you will have a good time has just been a great help.
It's an inspiring partnership born out of one of the most consequential moments in our nation's history, the murder of George Floyd and the reckoning that followed.
We saw a whole world that was really shifted and changed by that moment.
49ers general manager John Lynch was one of those people changed.
We huddled up and we said, what can we do? How can we make an impact to make things better? And I think through a lot of conversation and uncomfortable conversation came, we have to do something.
Did that impact you personally?
Oh, absolutely.
Has this program changed the 49ers?
I know it's changed me. It's changed Fred Warner. It inspires me to want to do better. If I could have seen someone who looked like me and, was somewhere where I wanted to be, saying as a young person that I want to be an NFL player one day, and for that NFL player to tell me, you can be so much more, don't just shoot for the stars, just shoot past the stars. that's why I want to do what we're doing. You know, it's really important.
Warner and Armstead also have a message for kids who feel alone and might be struggling.
At times, you may feel like you have no one that cares, no one that understands. I may not know you, we may not ever meet, but I care. I think you deserve every opportunity to be successful and live a great life.
I encourage people to educate themselves, just be a good person, be a good human being, because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna matter.
Gonna make some slices here. Good job. You okay?
Welcome to Dylan Dishes, Cooking with Cal. In this Today All Day series, I'm looking back at some of my favorite Cooking with Cal recipes and sharing my top kitchen tips. Today's episode is one that we're calling Grandma's Greatest because it features recipes from two amazing grandmas. First up, you'll see me and Calvin whipping up my mom's pasta salad, and then we tackle my grandmother's short ribs. You know, one of the biggest obstacles timid cooks face in the kitchen is just not knowing where to start or what to make. Well, here's a good rule of thumb. Always cook what you know and what you loved growing up. Just think back to what your parents and grandparents always served. I've also found that family recipes are often the simplest, which is probably why our parents made them so often. This first recipe is proof of that. You only need 5 ingredients: pasta, canned tomatoes, black olives, parsley, and olive oil. Take a look.
All right, so let's get the ingredients ready. How this thing works. So we're gonna use a can of tomatoes, but these are cooked tomatoes. They're not raw tomatoes. So you'll like these because they're cooked tomatoes, okay? Now turn that as hard as you can. Use those muscles. Do you want some help? There we go. Do you know what these are?
What? Olives.
Black olives. On taste one, you haven't tried one in a long time. Ollie loves them. Ollie loves olives. A little bit. I love them. I could eat them like this. So we got our tomatoes, our olives. You know what this is? What? Got some parsley. All right, you want to chop this for me? Why don't you put your hand like that? There we go. Good job. Now I'm just gonna make these all a little smaller, okay? This adds a nice pop of green and a nice freshness to the whole dish. So a lot of times my mom would use elbow noodles, the ones that look like C's or U's as you call them. I felt like using tricolor pasta. You know why they call it tricolor pasta?
Why?
Because there's 3 colors. So this one is just made with wheat. This one has tomato in it. And what do you think's in this one if it's green?
Broccoli.
Close. What else is green? What's green and leafy?
Celery.
Well, celery has some leaves. What looks like lettuce?
Spinach.
Yay! Cool. I'm gonna dump this in, okay? While that's boiling, can you dump the can of tomatoes in here? Now all of the olives, the parsley. Ah, good call, buddy. Good idea. Now we wait. Can you taste that? Perfect. All right, drain the noodle. All right, I want to pour these into this bowl. Dump a whole bunch of olive oil in here.
All of it?
Not all of it. I'll tell you what. All around. Swirl it all around. A little salt. This will come out fast, so let's give it a big stir. Before we put this in the fridge to let it cool down, let's taste it, okay? You like it? Tastes even better when it's cold.
So I thought this was such an easy recipe, but you guys had a lot of questions about it, so let's get to them. First, what's the last seasoning you put on this salad? Just salt and pepper. There's not a lot of seasoning or anything that goes into this salad, so if I sprinkle anything on it, it's really just salt and pepper. I'm a big fan of salt and pepper. Next question, did you drain the tomatoes? No, I put the whole can with the diced tomatoes and the liquid because some of the pasta absorbs some of that liquid, so it helps to add some moisture to the dish. Another viewer asked, do you think it would still be tasty without the olives? Yes, the thing that's the best part about this recipe is this is just a base. If you don't like olives, if you don't like parsley, leave them out. If you want to put some cubed cheese in there or some pepperoni, throw that in. Really, it's just about a base, and if you like it a little tangier, you could probably throw in some Italian dressing. It's just a basic pasta salad. This is the way we always made it, but feel free to change it up however you want. Another question about olives, are they sliced black olives? Yes, I kept this recipe even simpler by buying the actual pre-sliced black olives, but you can buy regular olives and slice them up. I bet if you like it tangy, it would even taste good with green olives too. And another question about the tomatoes. What brand of tomatoes do you use? I'm not that loyal to a particular brand, but I do love San Marzano tomatoes whenever you can find them, whether you're using diced tomatoes or you're using, crushed tomatoes to make a sauce. San Marzano tomatoes are just a little bit sweeter, so you don't have to add the sugar to them, and they're straight from Italy, and they're just absolutely delicious. Slightly more expensive, but totally worth it, I promise.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Let's go! International Day of the Girl.
The strength and courage of these women is remarkable.
What's your message to girls who want to make a difference?
Believe in yourself. You can make it happen.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Let's go!
We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age? You have nothing to prove, because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back!
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
News is more than a headline. It informs, it inspires, and it still matters. To cover it, you have to be in it. And that's what we're gonna do. Every night, we take you to the front lines of the story, where it's actually happening, with NBC News journalists on the ground from all over the world. We cover what you need to know and bring your newsfeed to life. In primetime and streaming live, it's your news playlist every night.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
Grab your apron for a new podcast, Cooking Up a Storm with LoweCo.
My forecast, yummy.
Some of the best chefs spill the beans on family secrets to get you ready for Thanksgiving.
This is fun. Bringing the heat for the holidays.
Follow now wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Dylan Dishes, Cooking with Cal. This episode is all about celebrating family recipes passed down from generation to generation. And Calvin absolutely loves his grandma's recipe for pasta salad, and I absolutely love my grandma's recipe for short ribs. So my grandmother lived in an apartment that my dad built above our garage in our house. So it was always special when we kind of walked up the stairs to my grandmother's apartment for dinner. Her home was always warm and cozy, and it always just smelled so good, whether it was, beef and barley soup or these short ribs. I just remember it was always like a meat and potatoes or a hearty dish. And we'd all just sit around at her brown dining room table, and it was just special. We were still home, but we were over Gram's house eating one of her recipes, and they were always so delicious. For this recipe, you'll need short ribs, paprika, chili powder, poultry seasoning, onion, tomato paste, egg noodles, peas, and salt and pepper.
Say hi, Mammy.
Hi, Mammy.
Hi, Cal. How are you today?
I asked you for the recipe, and you said, you just throw the meat in a dish, you throw this together, you put it on top, you cover it for a little, you cook it for a little.
There was no written instructions with the recipe, so a lot depended on looking at it, seeing what it's doing, throw it in the oven a little bit longer, that kind of thing.
Well, I wish you could be here with me to help make this and especially eat it with us. It'll be a tight squeeze, but we'll see if we can get them all here. Okay. There we go. They're all squeezed in there, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Salt, pepper. Now we have to slice up an onion.
Well, what if it hurts my eye?
I know.
Can I close my eye?
Well, then it's hard to cut and close your eyes at the same time. Okay. I'm gonna make some slices here. Good job. You okay? We've got all kinds of spices here, okay?
Are we gonna mix them up?
Yeah, but first, I want you to scoop all of this tomato paste into here as well, okay? And you pour this water in there.
I cannot still do it.
Because you're here to help me. Okay, so now we're going to pour all of this all over our short ribs.
Now we're gonna bake them.
Then we're gonna bake them, you're right. So all we have to do, we're gonna cover this with foil. We're gonna bake it for like 45 minutes.
45 minutes. I have soccer, right?
That's right. Put something on me. Now we'll put it back in the oven without the foil so it finishes cooking.
Where's the noodles?
This tastes exactly like my grandma's.
Is hers yummy?
Hers is so yummy.
One of the questions I get asked all the time is, what are the tools you use with Calvin in the kitchen? And knives are the big question because I'm cooking with a kid and here he is chopping some vegetables. So when I first started cooking with Calvin, I did all the chopping. I didn't want him anywhere near a knife. He did the stirring, he did the breaking of the eggs, he did all that. Then once he wanted to participate more, I found these knives. They're plastic knives. You can find them anywhere online. So they're sharp enough to cut, but they're not really sharp enough that Calvin would cut his finger. So the best vegetables this works for are something like zucchini, something like cooked potatoes. Hard-boiled egg would be good. Soft fruits like berries or pears. And you know, it takes a little bit of strength, but at least it, you know, is not going to hurt them, and it kind of just gets them used to, you know, some knife skills. I would also, you know, kind of do this for Calvin. I chop this up with my knife and then just give him a little bit to just sort of learn how to rock the knife, learn how to keep his hands out of the way, and just really basic knife skills with soft fruits and vegetables. That's what these knives are good for. Eventually, it became a thing though where, you know, you're making soup and you're chopping some harder stuff like carrots and onions. So I needed to upgrade a little bit. And I found these great knives. This is an actual knife. I mean, it's sharp and it will cut through your hard vegetables. But the thing I love about it is it also comes with this shield. So it teaches you the proper way to cut. So Calvin can put his hand here and he learns, you know, you stick your finger through this hole, so he learns, you know, not to put his finger under here, so his hand placement is good on the knife. And then he learns to kind of rock, but look at how this is like a real sharp knife for a kid, but it's all safe. The hand that's holding the knife knows how to hold it properly. The hand that's holding the food knows how to hold it properly so that your fingers are kept out of the way. The thing I love about this brand is that it also comes with a peeler. Calvin loves apples and pears. Obviously he loves carrots, but he does not like the skin on anything. He'd peel a blueberry if he could. So the same kind of thing. You stick your finger in the hole and then it teaches you to just have your fingers out of the way. So my job is to make sure he holds, you know, the right end and isn't like, you know, doing it the wrong way. And this thing's role is to make sure Calvin holds this the right way. So you can see how sharp they are. They work. So once your kid masters the plastic knife, I think it's good to upgrade to the real deal. The next time you go to your parents' or your grandparents' house, look through their recipe boxes. You may just find some delicious gems that you totally forgot about. But until then, I hope you'll try my family recipes and let me know what you think. For all these recipes, go to today.com/DylanDishes.
So first, what you're gonna need is breadcrumbs, Italian seasoning, olive oil, and shredded mozzarella cheese. My name is Peyton Janicki, and this is Kidzone Kitchen. I'm Peyton Janicki, I'm 8 years old, and I'm in 3rd grade. My earliest memory of cooking is when I was younger, I used to help my grandma make apple and pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving. I love cooking with my grandma because she's very nice and she's also a really good cook, and at the end I get to eat it. You need to add some chicken broth with a pot of oil in it, and you need to let that sit before we add the couscous. My favorite thing about having my YouTube channel, Practically Peyton, it's basically just cooking and just like, it's not even hard for me. It's really fun. I love to cook for my mom, my dad, and my little brother, Michael. I also bake for my dog sometimes. For his first birthday, I helped bake him a cake. And it was basically just dog food, but shaped into like a bone shape. And it also came with some icing for dogs. He loved it so much. Some of my favorite hobbies are softball, swimming, dance, basketball, singing, and piano. When I grow up, there's 3 things that I might want to be. I want to be a teacher, a chef, and an art teacher because I love to do art. I think that cooking is basically kind of like art. I might put in the wrong ingredient and I still want to see how it turns out. It's basically like mixing paint colors. Today I'm so excited because I get to show you how to make Nanny stuffed chicken breast and roasted broccoli. A couple of years ago, my nanny created this recipe because she was really good at making chicken cutlets, and she knew one of my favorite foods was pepperoni. So she magically put the pepperoni in the chicken cutlets, and it was amazing. Okay guys, let's get started. I'm so excited. Make sure you preheat the oven to 425 degrees. First thing is we are going to line this cookie sheet with foil, and then we're gonna spray it with some non-stick baking spray. I love using foil because it makes cleanup super easy. The first ingredients that you're gonna need is breadcrumbs, Italian seasoning, olive oil, and shredded mozzarella cheese. I like using shredded mozzarella cheese because you don't have to shred it. And it's just like so hard shredding it, and you can get hurt shredding it. In a small bowl, I'm going to add breadcrumbs, Italian seasoning, olive oil, and mozzarella cheese. This is my topping. The cheese and the olive oil are going to make the chicken brown, crispy, and delicious. So now you're gonna grab your thin chicken breast, salt, pepper, mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, and sour cream. The thinner the chicken breast, the better, because we're kind of making a pepperoni sandwich. And the bun is the chicken. Place half of the chicken breast on the prepared foil. Now we're gonna season it with salt and pepper. This is like sprinkling fairy dust. Now we're gonna sprinkle it with a half a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. You wanna make sure you spread it evenly throughout the 4 chicken breasts. You don't wanna skip out on the cheese. My brother loves cheese, so I think I'm gonna give him a little bit extra. He'll thank me later. My favorite step of this whole thing, adding the pepperoni. So you want to add 3 pieces of pepperoni on each slice, each piece of chicken. What I love most about pepperoni is probably like it has like a little spice to it. It has like a little hotness. I love pepperoni so much. I even eat it for breakfast sometimes. And secretly, I try to sneak it into all of my recipes. Now we're gonna place the other half of the chicken on top of all of these pieces of chicken. Now we're going to put a thin layer of sour cream onto the chicken. This has a really good flavor, and it also helps make the breadcrumbs stick to the chicken. It's kind of like frosting a cake. Now we are going to put the breadcrumb mixture on top of the chicken. I like this breadcrumb mixture because it makes the chicken like nice and crispy, and it gives a different but good flavor. See, this is the magic of the sour cream because it's sticking perfectly. This is looking so good. I can't wait to eat it. Now it's time to put this in the oven. It looks great, but I can't do it since I'm a kid, so I need help from my dad. Dad! Now we're gonna bake that for 20 minutes, and in the meantime, I'm going to bake one of my most favorite side dishes, roasted broccoli.
People really don't know what's going to happen. Only a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore.
More good people than bad people, I know, right?
5 seconds. 4, 3. There is some late-breaking news 4 hours into the Iowa caucuses. Private banter and everything.
All right, it just made too.
Grab your apron for a new podcast, Cooking Up a Storm with LoweCo.
My forecast, yummy.
Some of the best chefs spill the beans on family secrets to get you ready for Thanksgiving.
This is fun. Bringing the heat for the holidays.
Follow now wherever you get your podcasts.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Let's go! International Day of the Girl.
The strength and courage of these women is remarkable.
What's your message to girls who want to make a difference?
Believe in yourself. You can make it happen.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Let's go! We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age? You have nothing to prove, because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back!
News is more than a headline. It informs, it inspires, and it still matters. To cover it, you have to be in it. And that's what we're gonna do. Every night, we take you to the front lines of the story, where it's actually happening, with NBC News journalists on the ground from all over the world. We cover what you need to know and bring your newsfeed to life. In primetime and streaming live, it's your news playlist every night.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. There is some late-breaking news.
All right, it just is.
Fun fact, it is actually like when you get any vegetable and put salt, pepper, olive oil, and garlic powder like on top of it and bake it, it'll taste amazing. I actually won't eat broccoli any other way. I always make it this way and I love it. Now the first thing we're gonna do is cut the broccoli into florets, but you can also just pull them apart. And then you can have a parent cut it a little bit more after. Now that we're getting to the middle, I'm just gonna leave this for Mom. Mom, can you come help me?
Let's cut the broccoli.
Make sure they're at a similar size so they roast evenly. Well, you're a fast cutter. Now, you're gonna add olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Now you want to mix this really well. And cooking can get messy, so do it with your hands. It feels like, I don't know, like, have you ever like felt foam beads for like slime? It feels like that, but like wet and a little bit like more like crunchy. You want to make sure they're in one row or layer, because if it's not, it'll just steam instead of getting all like crispy and delicious. It's time to put this baby in the oven, but I need help. Dad? Now we have to wait 10 minutes. It's starting to smell so good, so that's a good sign. I'm getting super hungry too. Look at how amazing this looks. It looks so delicious. The chicken, it looks so crispy and good, and the broccoli, the same. It looks very crispy and good. I imagine it in my mouth, tasting so good. All right, let's plate it. I'm gonna plate another one because I have a special guest. I can't wait until she arrives. She's gonna love this meal. Oh my gosh, perfect timing, she's here.
Oh my goodness, this is the chicken dish I taught you how to make. Peyton, it's beautiful. It smells delicious.
That's what you were sniffing when you just came in.
Oh, I can't wait to eat it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You did a great job. You make this exactly like I did.
Okay, let's see how it tastes.
Yours, I think, tastes even better. It's so delicious. I love sharing meals with you. Anytime. Even if it's not this dish.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
I loved having you guys in the kitchen today. I hope you'll keep this recipe in mind and share it with someone special too. Bye!
This is Today's Show Confidential, and we've got a big honor this week for one of our very own, a much-deserved Emmy win for Savannah Guthrie.
So that came for Outstanding Live Interview. It's the town hall with then President Trump. Before any hardware came into your life, you were already like a number one.
Plus interviews with country music star Alan Jackson.
I think real country music is really not part of mainstream country music anymore. And I don't want to sound like an old, bitter country singer, but I just hate to see the real stuff disappear.
And pop star Demi Lovato.
Change can be scary for some people, and I just ask that people have grace for this human experience that I'm living on this planet, that we all are living.
And oh baby, our Today Show family growing this week. Welcome to the world, Cora Georgia and Russell James.
We are extra happy around here because we're going to have more on the new addition to the Bush family in a bit. But first, Dylan Dreyer, for a new bundle of joy has arrived. A little boy, Russell James Fischera.
This is the best. So much good stuff.
Good stuff indeed. Now, from the Sirius XM studios in Rockefeller Center, it's Limmy, Maz, and Pete Breen.
Ooh, Al played it straight on that one.
I feel like I dodged a bullet on that one.
You did, Pete. Definitely did.
You did.
Welcome back, Maz. We missed you last week.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Pete and I sort of held down the fort.
We did our best.
We did our best.
I'm sure you did more than.
Well, it was
more than adequately.
We are not complete without you, Maz.
Oh my gosh, the triangle is now complete.
Pete and I sort of looked at each other and just stared at each other. Right. And we had Willie on, and we just kind of deferred to Willie and let him run.
Was Willie here?
Not in studio.
Willie was at home.
Oh yeah, he's been at home for a year and a half.
Well, I think Pete thought he booked him in person.
I did.
And then Willie saw the text and goes,
like,
"Oh no, I'm not coming in."
That's not happening.
No, it's not happening.
Right.
But welcome back. We missed
you. Thank you. It's good to be back. Here in my normal slot on Thursday afternoon or Friday on the rerun.
Your normal slot. We actually had callers last week. It didn't happen until the end, but we had some, and we intend to get some today, Matt.
We do.
I thought we were still pretending that we always got callers and we're just ignoring them.
Well, no, we're calling. We want them.
Of course, we want them.
We always get them. It's a matter of if we take them or not.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? We always have a full bank.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
News is more than a headline. It informs, it inspires, and it still matters. To cover it, you have to be in it. And that's what we're gonna do. Every night, we take you to the front lines of the story, where it's actually happening, with NBC News journalists on the ground from all over the world. We cover what you need to know and bring your newsfeed to life. In primetime and streaming live, it's your news playlist every night.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today.
Let's go.
We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age? You have nothing to prove because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back!
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. There is some late-breaking news.
All right,
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Our Halloween show is going to be October 29th.
We are in the midst, it's that Friday. We are in the midst right now of determining what we're doing, how we're doing it, because we still have COVID restrictions to some degree. We always have to, we've talked about this before, the anchors have to buy in, clearly. So we're
Definitely.
in the negotiating phase right now, but we still need some ideas.
We do need some ideas. What is the name you call Debbie, the chief diplomat at the Today Show?
She is. She's the Boutros Ghali of Today Show.
Boutros Kosovsky.
Yeah, she is.
There it is.
So she negotiates that. But we need some ideas. So if you're listening, you're like, I'm a fan of that show, and I think they should do this, give us a buzz. 855-355-4789.
And of course, the way we think about Halloween to help people out there is we need a role for each of our main talent.
Sure.
So that is Savannah, Hoda, Craig, Carson, Al, Dylan, Chanel, and Jenna.
Well, yeah. And Willie.
And Willie. And Peter and Kristen. That's 11.
right.
We need 11 costumes, everybody.
Yeah. Although
And we
Dylan
themes.
is not going to be here because she's on
correct.
maternity leave. So we're down to an even 10.
We'll get to
Yes.
for sure. Dylan was huge news this week. So we need 10 costumes, and we generally at the show like themes.
We do. It's easier that way.
It's nice to have some common thread that they can all sort of play off of, and they all have a role. We also like to have a little entertainment factor in it too. So if there's a little
Definitely.
a splash or a presentation that comes with it.
I don't want to box people in, but really, we do have we have certain parameters we'd like to follow.
We do. Like as Pete would say, a little song, a little dance, a little seltzer down the pants.
Yeah, that's right. That's my motto.
Is that something I missed?
It's like an Al Roker saying.
It's an Al Roker saying
pants.
from Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a very 70s
I
thing.
thought Maz came up with that. There's a fine line between Rokerisms and Mazisms.
Yeah, we're both
Yeah.
it's like dad jokes.
It's
dad
like different,
jokes extraordinaire.
different dialects of the same language.
Definitely. By the way, there was lots of funny banter on the show this morning. Al was leading a lot of it. The Bobby Flay stuff.
Oh
was
my
he the
God.
one that said, "Does your girlfriend have the key to the elevator?"
I think that was Carson.
Oh, it was Carson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Carson was leading the charge on that. Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay was on, and he was the one that first referenced his girlfriend.
He did.
Yes, he did.
And then it just opened the gates because Carson, they said, "Who is she?" He wouldn't answer, and Carson started Googling it on air. Literally, he
goes,
pulled his
I'll
phone
take
out.
care of this.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Is she well known?
I don't know who she is.
You know what?
Okay.
I didn't look either.
We didn't Google, but they just kept Carson, who knows TV well, just kept going.
Kept it going.
Yeah.
And it was awesome because Carson's like, oh, man, she's a looker.
Yeah.
Really playing into it.
It was a bit.
It is.
was a bit.
And Bobby
Yeah.
Flay's a big part of one of your favorite parts of Entourage, Libby.
Oh my gosh, it's the best Entourage line. Do you know which one we're talking about?
No, I
Pete?
forget.
It's funny.
So Ari and his wife are separated.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
on the
now I
show,
remember.
and Ari's wife. Can you remember her name?
Mrs. Ari. I don't know.
Mrs. Ari. Mrs. Ari starts dating Bobby Flay, and that sets off Jeremy Piven, the Ari character, and he confronts her, and he swears in the middle of it. But he said, "We break up, and you start dating a blank cook."
He called him a cook. You start dating a cook. Every time I see Bobby Flay, I think
That's
of that
what you
line.
think of?
Well, because he clearly
You're
was in
dating a
on it.
cook?
He guest starred on the episode. He was clearly in on the joke, but it's always funny.
It is. He was a great guest, though.
He's always
Bobby.
good.
He's
Hall
so
of
good.
Famer.
And I will say, for those at home watching, listening, podcasting, all the things that we do here, next week, food back in the studio.
That's a
Thank
huge.
God.
That's a
This
huge
is,
moment.
This is a year, almost 2 years at this point, of not having
baby
food.
steps, but
Yeah.
we're coming back.
Yeah.
The good reason the food's back above anything else is to satisfy the anchors who every time we have food go, oh, man, we need food back here.
Oh, they just want to be able to have it and taste it.
And I get it.
Me
right?
too. It does look good. The one that got me this week was Trisha Yearwood, known for her country music.
Bacon?
Trisha Yearwood, the bacon potato chip brownies looked so stinking good.
See, I'm not in on that. I don't like my mixing of the sweets and the
That's
and
so,
the
Matt, that's so you.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You like a good old chocolate chip cookie.
I love a good brownie too, but don't throw bacon in it. Don't throw potato chips
You like
in
potato
it.
chips, you like bacon, you like brownies.
Yeah. Don't
separately.
Totally.
The
Don't
salty
combine them.
and the sweet, the crunchy.
Listen,
the
sometimes a little
soft.
salty sweet is fine, but that
Okay.
seems a little excessive.
Okay. Well,
But I heard it was doing very well, by the way, online, of course.
I'm
The
sure
salty, of
people
course.
like that, and
Yeah.
people like
Sweet.
Trisha Yearwood.
She's super cool.
She is.
She's awesome.
Except
But
she
that
was
looked
out of
good.
sync, which drove me crazy.
That drove me nuts. There's not a day that goes by where Maz and I don't look at each other and go, so sick of these stupid Zoom interviews.
The FaceTimes, the Zooms. Like Savannah did Jon Stewart this week, which
Yeah.
was great. But I said, I'm over the Zoom interviews.
I
I,
know,
just
it's
can't
Once
take
a
it
day.
anymore.
Once a day, one of us says that.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing is, I think at home you don't obsess over it as much as you guys do,
Right.
because you're kind of just listening and
Because
watching.
it's screen on screen.
Yeah, it is, and you
Right.
still hear a great conversation. It's just it doesn't look the best.
It feels a little disjointed.
It does, right?
Not the same. You
Yeah.
need someone sitting there.
Especially Jon Stewart, right? Who's so quick and so quippy,
I know,
and like
it's not
there's
the
and it's
same.
always that banter back and forth. And he and Savannah have a very cool relationship, and they're both super smart, and they
really are.
They have that thing, and and the interview was great, but it just loses something in translation.
I would love to see Savannah and Jon Stewart in person try to sort of outwit the other.
Sure.
I know.
They both are probably some
They're
of the
both
faster
sharp.
minds out there.
Yeah, Savannah's mind is ridiculously quick.
It is
like,
so quick.
Like you try to keep up with it, and you just give up after a while. You're like, okay, I can't do this. Sorry. Probably. I'm also exhausted every time I talk to her too.
Right. Yes,
so
exactly.
I'm like, oh, I can't definitely stop.
Feldy, he experiences that. Trying
I'm
to
sure.
keep up.
Treading water all the time.
I know.
Treading
Really?
water? That's not.
No.
I've got my phrases off today.
No, he's swimming. He's swimming with the stream, Pete.
Pete's like DJ Mix Metaphor over here.
Listen,
pretty
1
good name.
o'clock on a Thursday is not an ideal
It's
time
not-
for Pete.
It is perhaps the worst time.
I know.
We thank
But
you.
I mean, but also the best time. Am I right, TSC fans?
Yeah, all right. Well, let's remind people, in case you just tuned in, 855-355-4789. We're asking people what,
Yeah.
Pete?
Spooky season starts now. Halloween is just around the corner, and we need, it's a phrase, we need, it is.
Just spewing stuff today.
We need,
Get him a Bud Light seltzer.
somebody. Actually, that would be fantastic. We need Halloween ideas, costume ideas, character ideas. Who are they going to be?
And also, one of the things that we think, just reverting back since we're back to Halloween, I had Jillian, my assistant, print out a list of all of the costumes we've done over the last 15 years.
Yes.
It doesn't leave a lot of room
No.
for
There's nothing.
We've done
ingenuity.
every franchise imaginable.
There's nothing left.
Yeah, it's hard when you've done it for 25 years or whatever it is. It's really hard. And then our competition. So then there's like,
Right.
then something came up that we're thinking of, and I'm like, well, GMA did that. And at that point, you're like,
That's the other thing. You have to layer in what GMA has done so
Right.
as not to repeat it.
Right.
Well, I do say, I think we've had a sweet spot in the last 3 to 4 years. We've really been thematically on.
Ever since Peanuts, we've done okay.
That was a low point.
Peanuts was the worst
For
one
those
we've
who
ever
don't
done.
remember, Google Today Show Peanuts.
Actually,
No,
don't unless you
don't.
want to scare yourself.
right.
You may as well do like the clown from It. You might as well Google that. It'll be
It
less
is some
jarring.
of the scariest stuff you will ever see.
But when did we start getting into, so the year that I was Kelly McGillis and you were,
That was 3 years ago.
what was the theme?
It was
80s movies?
80s movies.
It was
I think.
80s, I think.
I mean,
think it was
Willie was
80s.
Ferris Bueller.
Right. Savannah was
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yep.
So it
yeah.
must have been 80s theme, not 80s movies. 'cause
I think it was
Cyndi
80s.
Lauper-
And yeah, Roker and Dylan were Back to the Future.
that was
Yeah,
a great one.
that was a very good one.
I feel like when Chanel was Janet Jackson, what was that theme?
That was 90s.
90s.
We sort of kept it going.
But it
kept those
wasn't
good times
strictly
going.
90s.
We're on the
was it?
verge
No, I
of.
believe it was because we had Al and Craig were Fresh Prince.
Oh, okay. Maybe
We did
it was.
Seinfeld. Dylan was Seinfeld. She was dancing like Elaine.
Oh, Elaine. Yeah,
It was a
that's true.
90s theme.
And then when Chanel was Tina Turner, what was that year?
Oh man, I don't know.
What was the theme?
I don't know.
I do feel like though Chanel's the one that pops into my mind, so that
Because
means
she's
it's iconic.
really. By the way, every time she does it, she's all in and is great.
She's so good.
Because she's been Tina Turner, Janet Jackson. What was she the year of the 80s, I wonder? Oh, Tina Turner.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
she
that
was
was
Tina
what it
Turner.
was.
Yeah,
That's
she was.
exactly
Anyway,
was.
Chanel's nailed Halloween the last few years.
She's won the past couple
Broadway
years.
was last year.
And then last year was Broadway.
Yes.
I have to say, I think SNL was maybe one of my favorites.
That was a
That was
great
a
one.
great
really good one.
How
Because
many years ago was that?
probably like 6.
Yeah.
But
We're
they-
going to have to recycle that, by the way, pretty soon.
But it was like, well, 50th.
Which you could.
50th,
50th
anniversary. Pete and I were talking the 50th anniversary of SNL's coming up.
Well, no,
50s?
not
70.
in another few years.
It's 2000. Well, we're almost at 22. It's in 2025.
Right.
So-
The reason I keep saying
It's
it's,
three
a long way
years.
away is because it's the same time I will turn 50. So it's a big.
Pete's like,
way
it's so far away. I'm like,
SNL
it's,
50 is great,
It's
though.
3 years
Oh,
from
it's going
now.
to be great. 3 years from
SNL
now.
40 was one of my favorite shows ever.
I want whoever is in charge of this show 3 years
right.
from now to listen up and,
Oh,
and
you know
know.
what's funny? Lauren Michaels was in my dream last night.
That's weird.
That is,
It is
very
super
strange.
strange. You just triggered that in my mind. We were riding in the back of a car together to something.
Really? You're big time, Liv.
Yeah,
Even your
Libby
dreams are
dreams
big time.
big. Libby-
I don't think we were partners.
I'm lucky
I think
if
I
Jim
was just
Brewer. I'm
there.
lucky if Jim Brewer's in my dream.
Just to be clear, I'm
Chris
not sure.
Kattan.
Right.
Lauren and I weren't partnering on anything. I just happened to be in a car with him.
You were like shared Uber, maybe?
Something. Something.
Uber
A
carpool?
shared
Have
Uber.
you ever been in a meeting with him?
I have not. Have you?
I was in one meeting where he popped in,
Really?
which was bizarre.
What was the
What
topic?
meeting?
It was. It involved booking.
Yeah.
It involved a combo of trying to sort of draft off of SNL bookings with our bookings in an old era of bookings here at the Today Show.
Interesting.
And it was up on 17, and it was like 6 staffers from there, including a friend of yours that
sure.
You know, Libby from SNL?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your friend 80 Bryant.
Yeah. No. Anyway.
I'm being slow.
Yeah, it's okay. Rhymes with schmuckus.
Yeah. Good Lord. Do we have to spell it?
Jesus, Libby.
We're on camera now, you know. We can't even, like,
What I couldn't
mimic
tell is
these
if you were
things.
doing a bit or not. I mean, we're all
There's
doing
no,
bits.
There's no bit. I'm being serious. I was this woman.
So the idea was that...
So the point being, we were going to do it together.
Lindsay shook us.
Yes, who's one of the executives
Yeah,
at SNL.
she's great.
And anyway, doesn't matter. The point being,
My God.
Rhymes with schmazzarelli.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so it was, and he just happened to come in because I think he was looking for Lindsay.
Oh, he
And
didn't
for-
intend to.
No. And he walked in and he was like, oh, these are foreigners in a foreign land,
I
right?
Why are you in
I
my
thought for
office?
sure you were
No.
going to say that you were talking about sharing resources and getting bookings off each other, and he was just going to pop his head in and go,
No.
No.
No, but it's weird. It's like you're like 30 Rock is, but you never really hear or see from him. He's this legendary character, but you're
Never.
like, I've worked in this building for 20 years and I've never seen him once except that moment for
That's
a
pretty
millisecond.
crazy. I've seen him at COVID testing.
You have?
Get
Yes,
out of
I
here.
have.
Oh,
That's
wait.
awesome.
I did.
I saw him leaving from COVID testing, but I
Yes.
only saw the back of his head with security around him.
Yes,
Like,
I've definitely seen COVID testing. And actually, fun fact, which no one really cares about, but Pete and I have been in his office late night.
I laid a beer down on his desk.
So, Maz, one of the things that no one wants to hear about is that Pete and I went to an SNL after party about a month before COVID started.
It was
I remember this.
It was the last thing we did before COVID.
It was, and we were so excited, and the night was so mind-blowing, but the next day, absolutely no one cared.
It was kind of weird how little people were interested in our amazing night.
Well, wasn't this the one where somebody famous said they knew you?
Harry
No,
Styles.
that's right. Oh,
Harry
I have a-
Styles said he knew Pete.
He
I
did.
have a
He
great
goes,
story
"Oh, hey,
about
good to
this.
see you again, brother."
He did. Yeah, he did. And I said, Harry, good to see you. Better than that, though. So last week, my oldest had a birthday party, and it was like boys and girls were there. They went to the movies, and afterwards, we're driving him home. And his friend said, "Oh, by the way, girls, Pete's dad's the one who knows Harry Styles." And a gaggle of teens surrounded me. And I go, "Harry? Oh, he's a friend. What do you need to know?"
That's awesome.
He's a friend.
Yeah. Anyway.
That was a cool night. Lauren was there. Lauren was holding court
He
in the
was?
corner. And what's interesting about the SNL after party, if I may,
Wow. If no one cared
Yes,
then,
yes.
Libby. If no one cared then.
Nearly 2 years ago, but go ahead. Yeah.
Pete's interested.
Go ahead.
Lauren
Just waiting to-
is in that kiss the ring position in any room. And so watching the famous comedians one after another just walk up to the table, pay their respects, and walk away.
He didn't
was
have to get
one
up.
of the most
He'd just
fun.
sit there.
Chris Rock, all of
I
them.
want to be at that point.
Is this part of the day of the show where I one up you with the story of Michael Jordan
Well,
kissing
that
the ring?
when I just said
it was
kissing
a
the ring,
lead-in.
I thought that's going to be a
I knew
perfect
where this was
entree
going.
There you go. Thank you, Libby, for
into
teeing me
another
up.
behind the scenes moment involving Tom Mazzarelli.
So, not to bore people with the details, but Carson was supposed to go to the Ryder Cup last week.
Carson Daly?
Correct.
Okay.
Which is an NBC event.
Yep.
I was going with him. Carson's plane got canceled. Mine did not because I flew to Chicago and drove 3.5 hours to the event because I wanted to go that
You had
badly with
passion.
him. I was. And I also thought maybe
He's a
Carson
dedicated
would go.
producer. He had somewhere to be.
Long
He got
story
there.
short, we then go to the Ryder Cup. We go to the NBC hospitality tent. I walk in and I look, and Michael Jordan is there, who's like one of the 5 most famous human beings on the planet.
And not to mention one of the 5 most famous human beings you would actually be interested in
I'm
starstruck
I'm
by.
never starstruck. 1,000%. I was like 12-year-old me buying my first pair of Jordans like immediately.
And-
and you see everyone do the same thing. Kiss the ring. He's like
He
in
didn't
the
need to
corner.
move.
There's
He
no
was-
moving, right?
But he was
a little bit of a
awesome.
gatekeeper too, right?
Yeah, he had a bunch of people around him. Ahmad Rashad, who's an NBC, longtime NBC host. Hannah Storm was there.
Yes, Hannah
But
Storm.
anyway, bunch of sort of it was a golf event, and there was a bunch of athletes and sportscasters there.
We really appreciated the moment by moment updates.
Yeah,
Pete and
some
I were
great
getting
texts. Anyway.
the Michael Jordan update. Did you kiss the ring?
No, I'm not allowed to kiss the ring. Like you had to be
Yes.
invited
Right.
over to kiss the ring.
Yeah, and you're not that guy either. You would never go over there. And
Hey,
never,
MJ, it's
never,
Maz. How you
never,
been?
never. And like everyone is super. I have to say, everyone is incredibly mindful of like no one's going to go up and try to take a selfie with them or
No,
anything.
and
Like
that's kind of a high end event. Where,
yeah, it was you had to be invited to get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point being, one of those moments where you're just like, oh, this is a very cool thing, getting to meet a very cool getting to be around a very
Molly Solomon, who runs NBC Olympics and NBC Golf.
Yes.
Who's awesome. She posted a really great photo of Michael Jordan and Steph Curry. And said, you never know who you're going to run into at the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And that's what, when you're the boss of the Golf Channel.
Right. Get to do that.
NBC Sports, you can take those photos.
You can do that unironically.
Yeah, but that sounded like a cool weekend, Matt.
It was super cool. I did Friday, Saturday, came home. One of the perks of the job, which was nice.
You were in the hospitality tent, but did you do any following?
Yeah, we walked around the course. It was awesome. It was cool. I mean, listen, if you like golf, it's amazing. If you don't, then it's super boring. But Michael Jordan was there, so that's all you need to know.
That's really neat. Well, Michael Jordan, Lauren Michaels.
Right.
We are just
Harry
rubbing.
Harry Styles.
We're rubbing elbows, you guys.
I hope everyone appreciates how important we are.
or the fact that all these three of these people that we mentioned have no idea any of us existed in that room.
Right.
No, exactly.
Zero.
Do
who we
they
are.
care ever.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what should we talk about? We should talk about the new babies here.
Yeah, we definitely should. I will say, though, we do have a caller.
Oh, well, we have multiple callers. Which one? Which one we want to
You
pick?
mean at 855-355-4789?
Yeah, 855. You said that so fast.
855-355-4789.
Let's talk to Marietta from Florida about our costume.
She's a long time.
She is. Marietta?
Marietta, you there?
Hi, Marietta.
Oh, Marietta. You're so close.
Maybe it's Florida from Marietta, Georgia.
You are. Marietta, you are so close to talking to people who are in the same room with famous people.
Marietta, you
blew
are
your
1
chance.
degree from famous people. Or 2 degrees?
She's, at least 2 degrees.
Yeah.
Multiple degrees.
Oh, right. Well,
next time, Marietta. Sorry.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work, or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. There is some late-breaking news.
All right, it's this
Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. There is some late-breaking news.
All right, it's this
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition. Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. There is some late-breaking news.
All right, it's this Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today. Let's go. We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age? You have nothing to prove because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back!
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
when I heard in our cold open of Today's Show Confidential the names Cora Georgia and Russell James,
Yeah.
I thought, is that a country band?
It is,
coming
right?
up, Cora Georgia, Russell James.
They're the opening act for Zach Brown.
It totally could be.
They're the Zach Brown band opening act.
Cora Georgia line and
Yeah, or Cora Georgia, Russell James.
yeah. Cora
Tour.
Georgia. Yeah,
Well-
I'd listen to that album.
Well,
Love the name. Love both.
I woke up to a text from I was like about to leave to go to work. It was like 4 a.m. and I get a text from Dylan. Hey, had the baby.
Hey.
Had the baby. Actually, I should go back the day before, saying, hey, I had to go to the hospital early because I was having some things that they wanted to check on, and
Yeah.
he was early. She's been pretty open about this. Was he like 6 weeks early, something like that?
Yeah.
And so they brought her to the hospital. She was they were kind of like slowing things down. And I said, just keep us posted. Do what you need to do. Let us know if you need anything. And then then that was, I think, Monday into Tuesday. And then Tuesday into Wednesday.
She had the baby.
And then it was just like, Russell James is here, 5 pounds. He's
Great name.
Everybody's good. I'm good, and please let everyone know.
We have a lot of experience in baby announcements at the Today Show, especially in the last 5 years.
I was going to say, the last 5 years, there's been like 6 of them.
It was so funny when we ordered.
Get those graphics ready.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Matt's like, get the graphic ready, and they know exactly what it was.
Yes.
Like, you don't need to explain anything about it.
You don't have to say, find me a baby graphic.
Right. No, this one.
It's plug and play at this point.
Dylan was funny. She was like, I don't have any good pictures. I only have like the scary ones right in the beginning or something. So she said, like the ones I'm sure she didn't want. Like I wouldn't want on there.
Well, she looked great and sounded great today on the 9.
Yeah, she was on the 9.
Amazing.
Yep.
Did a little interview with Craig and Chanel and Al. Checked in. We didn't see the baby on the 9. We're dribbling out the news.
Sure. Yeah. Slowly but surely.
It's a slow release.
It's a rollout. It's a Russell rollout.
It's a
Russell rollout.
You want the people wanting more.
But separately, and actually it's interesting because Jenna's twin sister Barbara had her baby. She and Craig had baby Cora Georgia.
Same scenario, like weeks early, unexpected.
Totally unexpected, to the point where Jenna flew up to Maine and had to set up a room for the baby because they weren't anticipating having the baby that early. So she said she was running to Target to get diapers.
What a good aunt.
By the way, how funny is it, Jenna? Jenna Bush is running to Target to get diapers. Like you think
awesome.
Don't they have somebody to do that? But
nope.
I don't think so.
No.
Jenna said there's something about having a twin sister where it's so much of your own baby that you just jump into action. She said she didn't even think about it. It just helped.
That's great.
Right.
I heard Holly interview Jenna this morning on Sirius XM. So I learned some of those details from Holly.
You're a longtime listener.
Oh, I love Sirius XM. I dip in and out of Sirius XM in the broadcast only because I'm a Holly fan.
I get it.
I have it on in different rooms.
Holly does a very good job at that.
I have a couple TVs, but I do broadcast in the kitchen and I do Sirius XM in my bedroom. So if I have to go back and forth, because I don't have a TV in my bedroom.
Okay. Right.
Too much info. Yeah. But I have both experiences in the morning. And Kevin on the Plaza does
he does
interviews.
He does. He's
with fans.
Does a great job.
So look at these phone banks.
It's lighting up.
Jeez.
Did we get Marietta from Georgia back? Is Marietta from Florida, rather? Marietta from Florida, you there?
You're confusing me.
Marietta.
She's all right. All right, Marietta.
I feel like Daryl called last week, but hi, Daryl. How are you?
Daryl, you there? You're on Today's Show Confidential. You lucky son of a gun.
I am.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, Daryl, what's up?
Hi, Daryl.
Okay, 2 weeks ago, you said you went live on Today all day, and so I went to today.com and was trying to find it. And you can't be superstars if we can't find you live. How do I find it?
That's a good question, Daryl.
Well, Daryl, we may have confused you a little bit. So we were live again on Sirius XM, which is what you're listening to, obviously. Right. We are live in the flesh. This is happening right now. But Today All Day is another little bit away from seeing Today's Show Confidential. And it's actually not going to be live on Today All Day. It's going to be posted later.
Right.
So
we're workshopping.
That is 2.0. We're trying to make us look better, Daryl, is what's bottom line.
Here's the Daryl, they don't have my lighting right, and this is not happening until I get my lighting right, okay?
Well, and congratulations on the weight loss, by the way.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate
congrats,
that.
Pete.
Thanks.
He looks great, Daryl. He looks
Thank
great.
You, Daryl.
I do feel like the number one piece of feedback we've gotten on Today's Show Confidential is how great Pete looks.
Yeah, he looks fantastic.
That makes sense for a radio broadcast.
Well, on the Instagram and other things.
So, Daryl, we're a little bit away from us being on Today All Day. That being said, Libby does run Today All Day, so the fact that you're on there is we appreciate that, and keep going there because that's important to the entire Today brand.
It is. Keep streaming us.
Well, and it's part of your future to your future fame as well.
Thank you, Daryl. You really speak our language.
You do. He gets it. Totally gets it.
Not that we need any more because we obviously meet really famous people all the time.
Yeah, we're in rooms with many famous people.
Have a good day, Daryl.
Thanks, Daryl.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Want to go to Regina so I can figure out what's going on here? Regina from Wisconsin. Let me see if I can help you out here. What's up?
Oh, Regina.
Oh, Regina.
There we go.
Regina from Wisconsin.
Holly, what's up with the phones?
What's going on here?
Do we need Manon?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. There she is.
All right, there's Manon. Okay.
Sorry, Manon.
We're moving on. We're moving on. Go ahead, Pete. You pick next. We had a full bank here. You go next.
Everybody stand back because Cindy from Illinois has a costume idea. Cindy, are you there? Cindy. Hello.
Okay,
so, you know what? Well, we got a full bank. Stay tight, gang.
Everybody
Holly got new bangs and a new attitude.
We are struggling here. So,
I
bottom
do like
line,
to see this phone bank lit up, even if
course
it's
we
not
do.
working.
I know. And
I
by
like
the
to see
way,
Marietta,
it's
Regina, Cindy,
it's
Lori.
taunting all of us. So if you're on the phone, just hang. We're going to figure out
We'll
these
get to you.
technical difficulties. In the meantime, you'll just have to listen to us babble.
I feel like we're not
Yeah.
babbling at all. We're telling detailed stories about new babies in the family.
There's Dylan, right? There's
Oh,
Dylan,
wait, and there's
Skura.
another baby we need to talk about.
Who?
Margot.
Oh, baby
Little
Margot.
baby Margot.
Kristen
baby
Welker.
Margot
Kristen
Hughes.
Welker's baby is going to be making an appearance tomorrow.
I know. So Kristen is coming back from maternity
Yeah.
leave on Saturday morning for her Weekend Today hosting. I can't believe how fast it's gone.
Has it been almost 6 months at this point?
No, not
No, she
definitely
didn't
not
take full
six
Was it
months.
June?
That's Welker we're talking
Yeah,
about.
I know, but I thought it was
No, it was June, so it's been three plus, 4 probably.
August, September.
Yeah,
four.
and
Four.
sources tell me, I haven't met baby Margot in person, but sources tell me baby Margot is beyond off the charts cute.
No doubt in my mind.
And we are excited for Kristen to return. She's going to tell us all about her experience in motherhood in the last 3 months. She did Sirius XM this week.
Yeah, she did with Hoda.
She talked to Hoda.
So
I'm
we
al-
actually should have Welker on soon.
We should.
Yes,
I'm also
absolutely.
hopefully. I'm going to ask Margot what's going on with the infrastructure deal, because I think
She'll
probably
have
has a
notes.
better sense of it than I do at this point.
All I know, guys, in the morning when you're talking, it's debt limit, defaults, infrastructure, reconciliation. It's a lot.
It is.
So-
We're doing our best to try not to confuse people, and it's hard.
Baby Margot could really help us.
Margot,
with that.
we need it in Margot language. Like
If
that's what
anyone
we
can.
need. Break it down, Margot. She could do a good job. Like give her like 6 months, she'll be fine.
So yeah, this week has Cora Georgia was born, Russell
Yeah.
James was born,
Yeah.
Baby Margot is coming on the show.
The
Making
debut,
her
of
It's
course.
live
it's
appearance.
A baby boom.
That's
there was
great.
also a big news this week in the Emmy award-winning
Oh my
category.
God,
Matt.
so much good news
There
this
was.
week.
Miss Savannah Guthrie. You may have heard of
Yep.
her. Rhymes with schmuthrie. She
Doesn't work as well when you say the name first.
It does. That is true. That is true. She earned a well-deserved Emmy for her interview with then President Trump. I guess it was only a year ago.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Congratulations, Savannah.
Less than a year ago.
Lucas Vasquez, Sarah Pines.
And by the way, Libby Least.
And
Yeah,
Aaron Farley.
Libby.
Oh, thanks.
Libby Least got
yes,
an
I
Emmy
was
for
there.
that.
She did.
Savannah was the ringleader
Yeah.
of
Of
that
course,
one.
of course.
But it's always a team effort, and a lot goes into those events. Savannah clearly is the one that was out in front doing the interview and
Yeah.
wrote her questions, but there's a team of researchers, production team, director,
It takes a
executive
village.
It does.
producers. It was a big deal, but I would say the core team of Savannah Guthrie, Roberto Bailey, Lucas Vasquez, and Aaron Farley and Sarah Pines were really the ones that honed that together
That's
in
the
an
core
editorial.
four,
Yeah, they
five.
really did a great job, and I think deserve a lot of that recognition as well.
And I will say that we were up for 3 Emmys that night.
Yes, we
We
were.
were up. We won one, but we're up for our technical crew was up for an Emmy for essentially producing the show through the pandemic,
Yep.
which they should have won as far as I was
I agree.
concerned. And then Jimmy Gaines, our director, was up, and I believe he lost. I believe I think CNN for their election night
It
coverage.
was election night coverage. It's
Which, listen, that's a hard category.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
That's super tough. And I think there were like 3 election nights, and then Jim was for something else. So it was like a little bit of apples and oranges. But as far as I'm concerned, they're all winners.
Can I
No,
tell you something
absolutely.
hilarious? So, Lucas came. This morning I came in and was talking to Lucas.
Emmy award-winning Lucas Vasquez.
And I said, that's what I said to him. I made the joke. I can't believe I'm sitting here talking to Emmy award-winning Lucas Vasquez. And he goes, "Can I tell you? I was actually thinking about it when I was watching it happen, and they went over the other people, and it was like, if Savannah loses in her Trump interview to Anderson Cooper talking to the mayor of Las Vegas, I'm going to be so mad."
That's funny. Well, I've said this. We lost to the daytime.
That's a great line.
We lost the Emmy for best morning show to CBS Sunday Morning. God bless them. They do a great
Not in
show.
this last broadcast,
Yes.
though.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not
Yeah.
the
one before.
in June.
The
Whenever
Emmys,
the
right. Not the news
daytime
Emmys.
Emmys. Right. There's 2 separate ones. There's 3. There's actually primetime, there's daytime, and then there's news and documentary. Bottom line, we were up for best morning show. We lost to CBS Sunday Morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they do a great show. But
They win
a
lot.
They do. They win almost every year.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit ticked off because I felt like we got screwed a little because CBS Sunday Morning does a primarily tape show.
Yeah.
1 hour a week.
Right.
And during a year of a pandemic, we did the entire show 4 hours every day.
Yeah, we
didn't
did.
miss a day during the middle of a pandemic.
Shouldn't they be in different categories to some degree?
I think there are, like I said, it's a little
both
apples and
morning
oranges.
shows.
I'm going to write a strongly worded memo to the Emmy.
You
Oh,
do
wow.
You and my mom.
I'll proof it for you.
My mom's going to do that too.
Massey's a little ticked off.
I'm still angry about it.
Producing the show during the pandemic was exhausting.
Yeah, and it was like I felt like if there was ever a year.
Yeah, it is.
It's still happening,
Pete,
right?
It's not always about you.
Right.
That had nothing to do with me.
Oh, all right.
Even though I work really hard.
Yeah. Anyway, if there was ever a year where we deserved it, that was it. So that's my final 2 cents. That's my speech. I didn't get to give it, but screw it. That was my speech.
It's a good speech, Maz. Let's go to Lori from New Mexico. She's got a question.
Hello.
Hey, Lori, what's up?
It worked.
There we go.
It did. Hi.
Hi. So, Libby, I have a question about the podcast.
Sure.
First of all, I love the access to it. I listen to you guys on Sirius, and I watch you, and I love that the podcast is out. But my question is there a time frame of when the hours are uploaded?
Oh, so if you're interested in listening to, let's say, the 7, 8, or 9?
Yes.
Well, we upload them quickly. The other end of it is that Apple has to put them up, or wherever your platform is. So we're at the mercy of when they decide to post it, which is inconsistent. What time are you getting it?
That's true. Well, so I'm in Mountain Time, so the 7 o'clock hour is available like almost at 7 o'clock when it comes on TV.
Oh, well, that's good.
But then the 8 and 9 are not available till like maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Ooh,
really?
That's some lag time right there.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get on top of that.
Looks like another strongly worded memo is going to be sent
look
out.
She's literally writing it down.
I just took
Lori.
my pen out.
She did. Libby's on that.
I'll make sure you don't throw that away.
It may be
Jenna's hour comes on usually before the 8 and the third hour.
Huh.
Well, I think whichever platform is putting up the podcast prioritizes them. So my guess is they're prioritizing the 7 and then Jenna's hour, and that the 8 and the 9 are coming behind that. So we will try to make that a little bit more consistent for you.
Wonderful.
And also, do you know Hoda has a podcast now, Lori?
Making
space. Yes, I've listened to a couple of her episodes.
Don't miss Monday because we've got a big one coming up.
Go ahead, Libby. Who does Hoda have on?
Big one, you say?
Well, she's got Maria Shriver.
Whoa.
And who's somebody else?
Maria Shriver's best friend, Oprah.
Yeah.
Winfrey?
It's going to be a good one.
It's Maria, Hoda, Oprah. All we need is Uma.
Maria, Hoda, Oprah. And honestly, I think this might be the best one yet. There's only been 3, but this 4th one.
To be clear, Winfrey.
Oprah Winfrey. And I was told that Hoda said it was revelatory. Oprah was very open, honest, told some stories she's never told before. She's very comfortable with Maria. Maria's one of her best friends in the world. So it's going to be great.
To me, is a big takeaway. I had no idea that Maria Shriver, who I've buttered a bagel next to upstairs in the kitchen.
That
sounded weird.
Weird reference.
Clearly meant.
When you said butter day, I was. Where are we going with this?
Yeah. Point being, this is someone I see around the office every once in a while. I had no idea she was best friends with Oprah.
Well, she is.
Pete, if you didn't know, all famous people are best friends.
I guess that's
Pete,
right.
if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. Pete.
Maz, who said that if you don't know?
Come on, Biggie. Stop. Come on. Seriously?
Am I the only one who didn't know that? I thought Gail was her best friend. I know we're not supposed to talk about Gail, but I'm saying it.
Gail is her best friend, but also Maria.
Yeah.
Maria's not as public with the best friend.
Can I also throw out that I know there's a podcast, but that's going to be on the broadcast, the regular show on Monday as well. Thank you very much. If you'd like to watch,
that thing's still on.
Yeah, that old thing, that old thing.
Oh, you mean the engine that drives the rest of all this crap?
Hey, Lori.
Oh, sorry, Lori. Yeah, hi.
Are you still there?
We lost her.
Yeah.
Make sure to tell all your friends about Hoda's podcast and Oprah, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I will.
Thank you.
And
we'll
to
try
watch
to get
the show.
It sounded like a threat, Libby.
Yeah, it did.
There's one thing you do, Lori. You listen to me, all right?
All right, Lori, have a good day.
Thanks, Lori.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today.
Let's go! International Day of the Girl.
The strength and courage of these women is remarkable.
What's your message to girls who want to make a difference?
Believe in yourself. You can make it happen.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas. Weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now. Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
In a mere 30 minutes.
Boom.
Shop today with Joe Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today Food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
News is more than a headline. It informs, it inspires, and it still matters. To cover it, you have to be in it. And that's what we're gonna do. Every night, we take you to the front lines of the story, where it's actually happening, with NBC News journalists on the ground from all over the world. We cover what you need to know and bring your newsfeed to life. In primetime and streaming live, it's your news playlist every night.
Top Story with Tom Llamas. Weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now. Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Joe Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today Food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
Not only do we have Oprah Monday on the show, we also have Jerry Seinfeld on Monday.
What?
Yes.
Are they best friends?
No, Jenna Bush Hager and Jerry
now I'm
are,
talking
though.
like them.
So this just in.
What's the deal with that?
Oh, geez. I texted Karen Trossett, our senior producer who works closely with Jenna Bush Hager, and she said the interview is booked, Maz, with Jerry Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
The topic is embargoed.
What?
I don't even know what the topic is, so
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's Jerry
probably
Seinfeld.
One of the best
U.S.-Iran relations. That's my guess.
One of the best
for
30
sure.
Rocks that I just watched recently, I think I told you this, Pete, was when Alec Baldwin's character, Jack Donaghy, decided to do a slate of programming. So the NBC lineup had everything had Seinfeld in it. So Seinfeld would appear in Law and Order.
That's funny.
And they called it Seinfeld Vision.
That's awesome.
And Jerry shows up in his office. He goes, I never signed up for this. But there's an Al Roker reference in that episode.
Al
makes sense.
Al's in so many pop culture references,
Yeah.
like you don't realize it. And then, what did he say? Somewhere the other day, somebody was like, I saw you in it. And I was like, I totally forgot I was in that. I think it was a movie. They were watching a movie and he was in it.
No question, Al is the most famous
Oh.
member of any morning show in the country.
1,000%.
He is one of the most famous people in America, I would argue.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he is. But anyway, so Seinfeld shows up with Jack Donaghy, and he goes, I want to see Roker in a bee costume.
Because Al's like a
do
good
that.
punchline for everything.
It is.
It's like Al
because
Roker.
he makes you feel good and gets
no,
you in a good
here's
space.
what it was. It was the other day when there was a Letterman. There was something about Letterman where he went on the. I don't even remember where it was, but
Oh, David Letterman with Steph Curry? Or
No.
Kevin Durant?
no, it was when it was Letterman was.
Sorry, that was a weird.
Yeah, that was that was not it. That was
Well,
was.
we
the
showed a
other
clip
day.
of that this
That
week.
is correct, but there was something the other day where they showed a clip of David Letterman from years ago when he was at NBC.
Oh, sorry.
And he walked off set and he hugged. He went out to like
yeah.
live
What was that from?
Live at 5, and he walked in and Al Roker was there. And he hugged Al, and Al was. They were like, "Do you remember that?" I was like, "No, like I forgot
Yeah.
about that."
Al-
Like it was
There's
like
so much Alice to remember. And wasn't Al was one of the only people that ever got Howard Stern to stop by the fishbowl, right?
yeah.
That's how famous
maybe
he
the only
is.
one ever.
That's pretty
Yes.
cool. Stern, what were they doing? Off the rails? And,
Yeah,
and
they sure were.
Didn't Stern say, who are you two?
Yeah.
Chanel and Dylan?
Dylan and
He
Chanel.
stopped for Al to say hi to Al and then was pretty dismissive of Chanel and Dylan in the best possible Howard way.
Right.
If he knew Chanel and Dylan, it would be kind of weird.
He's like, why are you two on your phones? You're doing a show, aren't you? What are you doing? It was really funny.
Right.
It was great.
Yeah, well, we love Al Roker. How do we get on that?
I don't know.
I don't know who knows. Seinfeld, Jack Donaghy.
Oh, there you
like
go.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah, Jerry Seinfeld. Well, that's so Monday on the Today Show, you're going to see Oprah and Jerry Seinfeld.
Yes.
Not a bad Monday.
No, it's a
After
very-
the Tom Brady Sunday Night Football game, might I
That is
add.
good. You want to watch Sunday night, and then you want to roll over and watch Today Show.
Apparently no one is anymore, but why not?
No, they're watching football.
How dare you?
Oh, they are watching football.
Yes, exactly.
And they're watching Today's Show.
Right.
Come on.
They are. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Marietta from Florida. We're finally going to take your call.
Grab your apron for a new podcast, Cooking Up a Storm with Al Roker.
My forecast, yummy.
Some of the best chefs spill the beans on family secrets to get you ready for Thanksgiving.
This is fun. Bringing the heat for the holidays.
Follow now wherever you get your podcasts. Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day. For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
News is more than a headline. It informs, it inspires, and it still matters. To cover it, you have to be in it. And that's what we're going to do. Every night, we take you to the front lines of the story, where it's actually happening, with NBC News journalists on the ground from all over the world. We cover what you need to know and bring your newsfeed to life. In primetime and streaming live, it's your news playlist every night.
Top Story with Tom Llamas. Weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
Today Show Confidential. Sirius XM Today Show Radio.
Are we on the air? Oh.
We are back.
Hi, everybody. Well, one of the things I should mention, we've got cameras on us in the studio.
God help all of us.
Kind of goes back to a question Daryl had from Indiana. The reason there are cameras on us is not only because both of you are handsome and ready for some public attention, but we are going to be streaming Today Show Confidential on Today All Day, our streaming channel, eventually. I don't exactly know the drop date, guys, but we're banking episodes right now.
The drop date is
11th-ish. So we're
11th of October. Okay, all right.
Did you call Maz's agent?
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
So towards the 11th of October, we're banking a few episodes now, but you'll be able to see Today Show Confidential on the Today All Day stream, which is just another way for people to access our great content.
Are they really hurting for content where they're putting the three of us on this streaming channel?
It's not they, it's us.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we make
it's actually
the decision,
Libby, by the way. It's actually Libby.
And yes.
It's Pete. We're in the wilderness. We're moving towards where we have to just fill
we
the
sit
content.
in a room and go, okay, what do we got?
Right.
What if, and just hear me out, what if it blows up? What if it becomes like the biggest thing?
We're like the new Mark Maron, right? Of like podcasting.
We'll have a little Kardashian effect where cameras are towing.
Right.
You're coming in the morning with your Dunkin' and a camera crew.
Can I tell you, Pete, by the way, speaking of Dunkin', Pete, I don't drink coffee. He comes in today.
Oh, man.
He's got a big old hot chocolate. Like I'm a fourth grader.
I
and it was
brought Maz
so
a hot chocolate today.
And by the way, it was delicious.
Wait, he brought you a hot chocolate?
Yeah, and it was so good. It was so good.
I got you your...
That is so cute.
I got you your medium with skim.
I love I
You
love
like a small, but I got you medium.
No, thank you. But I don't understand. Did you ask for the hot
No,
chocolate?
out of the blue, it showed up.
He didn't.
And you drank it?
Drank the hell out of it.
It's delicious. Have you ever had it?
Oh my God.
Dunkin'
It's like
hot cocoa?
Libby, it's like pure chocolate syrup with some hot water thrown in it.
I drank the hell out of it.
It reminds me of the day where somehow there was a coffee order. There was a coffee order in like the newsroom. They were getting the anchor's coffee, but somehow someone, like one of the PAs, came in, and she just goes, I have a hot chocolate here for someone. And David Nazar goes, oh, that's for me. It was like the most sweet, adorable thing I ever saw.
He's our old production manager that left a few years ago.
Nobody gets that joke. There's like 9 people. Who
David Nazar, but
Lovely man.
Nobody
Lovely
wants
man.
to be in the group, the one that who's the hot chocolate
Who got
for?
the extra whip on their hot chocolate?
Yeah. Well, by the way, the coffee thing has been, speaking of pandemic production.
Oh, it's a thing, isn't it?
It's a thing for the anchors because normally they would have it, and now there's who even gets it for them now? I don't even know.
Well, it used to be Kelly O'Neill in hair.
Yeah.
Didn't it? And she just did it out of the kindness
She'd do it
of her
out of kindness of her heart. And I don't know who's doing it now. But
Did Nick Shinners ever do it?
Listen, I'm not proud of this, but there were many times I had to beg the PAs to go get coffee for the
Well,
because
PAs are actually crashing really
They're doing
hard
work.
before
That's
the
what
show.
I mean. They have things they need to do.
They really do.
It's essentially the coffee, which probably should be like the first thing anyone does, so sort of has fallen through the pandemic cracks. And now we're just like, who's getting the coffee? And kind of like it shows up some days,
It
and
just
some days it
magically
doesn't.
shows up. I don't ask questions
There was a
anymore.
robust time where we used to have Dunkin' and
Oh, my
Starbucks
God.
next to each other in the
Big
newsroom.
old buckets.
And there was a full, full
Station.
There's a full breakfast served and
Continental
everything.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Now it's nothing, right? When
No.
when
No.
do you eat your
there's
breakfast?
there's food out there by the control room.
I eat breakfast.
You don't eat breakfast.
I have a banana.
Same,
That's it?
banana.
You guys don't. You
I
used
eat
to do
after.
Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, I stopped that for a while. I've had it in a while, although I did Cinnamon Toast Crunch today because it was in front of me and I was like so delicious. But I've now had Cinnamon Toast Crunch and hot chocolate today like I'm 4.
I know. I was just going to say, adding to the hot chocolate,
Yeah.
that's a little. Are you guys working in the newsroom right now? In our
Yeah.
main newsroom?
Yeah, our control room 1A is
Yeah.
our
Yeah,
control
we're
room is being reworked
Which
and
computer
refurbished.
do you log into? Not your office, right?
No, I go to my office.
Yeah, Madison's
yeah.
office.
Yeah.
And do you bark orders?
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit.
he is a
Little bit.
taskmaster.
Little bit.
Breed!
Yeah. What I normally
Nice
do is I
Skura.
usually go out because you know this, Libby. I screen the pieces
Yeah.
as many as you can physically get to, right?
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of them.
And a lot of times I'll say before I do it, I'll say to Pete and Grace, who's one of our coordinating producers,
Grace.
I go, what ones shouldn't I look at?
Right, because we will have already
Can
been
that
like,
be a good thing or a bad thing?
It's generally the bad thing.
Right,
Like,
meaning I blew it up already.
like it's already being reworked.
don't,
Like, they're-
don't bother.
That's a
don't-
good way to. Yeah, that's. A
Yeah,
good
it
way
Well,
is.
to
because
add it.
otherwise I'm
It's-
wasting like 10 minutes of watching a piece, on some White House thing
Right.
that's like old and, they're already
and
being
Pete and
worked.
Grace are so good at their jobs half the time. If you have anything you suggest,
That's what I was going to
we
say.
already
Maz
did that an hour ago.
98% of the time, it's like,
will go,
yep, we're
why
on
is
it.
this? We already got it. We're
Yeah.
good.
Yep. Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
Listen, we have to get to Marietta from
Oh, my
Florida.
God, she's
She's
still
been
holding?
waiting.
Marietta.
Hey!
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, man and girls?
Oh, we are
all right.
good.
We are good. We are good.
How's things in Florida?
You sound good. I am in Florida. I was born in Alabama, so I have a little accent, they say. Anyhow, I thought the good idea for Halloween would be Sesame Street.
Oh,
Have we done that before?
No,
We have not done that
We have
before.
not done that before.
Huh.
Okay.
We've done the Peanuts, which we talked about, which was we don't want to
let's
talk
not.
about anymore. The Muppets is a good one.
Yeah,
Sesame
the Muppets
Street,
is a good one.
Muppets
Also,
slash
Hoda's
Sesame Street.
obsessed with the Muppets.
Yeah,
She does.
Yeah.
She loves them.
That's a
well,
good one.
I mean, her girls are.
Right.
that's a good one. All right, I like that.
Marietta,
That
good
could
thinking.
that could be legit contender, Marietta.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marietta.
Because you could work them into it, and it would. There's a good music numbers you could do. That Merida.
Except Peter, you get to be the one who picks Oscar.
Ooh, no thanks.
Oscar the Grouch.
There you go.
Although, are you
just
going to
give
be
it
in
to
the
Roker.
Halloween show this year? Have they drafted you yet for anything?
I don't know that this year.
I don't think you can.
I'm in the
No.
same place.
Can
where
I'm just going to make an executive decision and say he's not in it.
Because he has to actually
It-
be in the control
literally
room.
the single hardest day of the year to produce.
Halloween.
Yes, it's
and it is a nightmare. And Pete,
Jeez.
it's your
I
nightmare
really
now.
scratched that itch with Maz there.
Yeah.
You did.
Nope. Well, something for Pete pre-taped.
Yeah, maybe we can work him into a sketch.
Pete still claims
I'll
that
be in there.
one of the most strong things I reacted against one time was when
Oh, it
Malia-
absolutely was.
I don't remember it this way. Malia and Christine came to me one time
Two
and
of our
said,
producers.
usually we have Lester or some big authority figure track the lead
Yeah,
piece.
right.
They had Malia and Christine had Pete tracking it.
I know.
Do you remember that?
I remember, and I had the same reaction you did.
Well,
I
I,
said,
don't know if
why-
yours was as visceral
No,
as Libby's.
because-
like, who would
yeah.
say to me, "Can you believe they had you do it?"
Well,
And
it
I
made
was
no
like,
sense.
well, actually, yeah.
We
Ooh,
work
Lester-
in television
right.
with the best in the business in
Lester
the
Holt,
world.
Carson
Yeah.
Daly, no, Pete Breen.
I still think it makes total sense, you guys.
And I just remember saying to the girls, hey, why would Pete do it?
because he desperately wants to.
No,
That's why.
I was asked. I did not raise my hand. I was summoned to do it. I thought everyone was in on it, so I was like, "Yeah, of course, let's do this."
So I said, why don't you head into Lester's office, ask him, and then we can revisit Pete.
Pete Breen, what do you girls think? They almost lost their job.
Is that
it was
the
a whole
scratch?
thing.
Is that the scratch track, as we like to say, which is for you not
It wasn't
listening at
even.
home? The practice
See,
track.
she's still
she's
like
so angry about it.
incredulous. And no,
Yeah.
it wasn't, Maz.
Right.
Get this, it
No.
wasn't.
No, it was
Okay,
not the scratch
We
track.
work for NBC News.
Right.
We
Right.
have
And listen to these golden pipes.
The
It would have been
world's-
fantastic.
we have the best professionals in the business. There's nothing against
Yeah,
you, but
I
you
include
are the
myself
senior
in
broadcast
that.
producer.
We
Group.
also had Pete.
Yeah, go ahead.
Didn't we have one year?
I'm listening.
Who's Don Pardo do it with the SNL year? Like literally
Right.
one of the greatest voiceover artists in the history of the world. And then the following
no,
year,
let's get Pete.
Pete do it.
Right. So yeah, I'll be involved
And
somehow
I'll
this
never
year.
not believe that you didn't somehow offer your services.
No, I said yes when asked. That is all.
All right, if you believe Pete.
Maybe they knew me from Today's Show Confidential and figured my work here speaks for itself.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Let's go! International Day of the Girl.
The strength and courage of these women is remarkable.
What's your message to girls who want to make a difference?
Believe in yourself. You can make it happen.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas. Weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
People really don't know what's going to happen. Nearly a dozen hours after the Eye roared ashore. More good people than bad people, I know, right? 5 seconds. 4, 3. There is some late-breaking news 4 hours into the Iowa caucuses. Private banter with everything.
All right, it just made too.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, everybody. It's time for everybody's favorite game show about everyone's favorite morning show. I ask Maz and Libby a series of questions about this week's broadcast to see how well they were paying attention. We went on tour with Ricky Martin and Enrique Iglesias this week. Ricky was responsible for one of the largest city crowds in Today history, one of the largest city concert crowds in Today Show history. In what year?
1999.
Ooh, you both got it. Good job.
That's correct, Libby. Great answer, Maz.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, twofer. Which Today anchor this week admitted to watching Bridgerton saying, "I'm not proud of
Hoda?
it, but I did."
Oh, no.
Craig.
Craig is
Hoda
correct,
loves
Maz.
Bridgerton, though.
Jenna.
Right on the money, Maz.
That's my favorite. I got to start incorporating that phrase into
money,
into
Maz.
everyday life. Yeah. Jenna sat down with country superstar Alan Jackson on the show this week for a very candid conversation. We found out the Bush family, huge fans. Oh. Which of these is not an Alan Jackson song? Turn on the Radio, Chattahoochee.
That's one of them for sure.
Living on Love.
Living on Love.
No.
Well, it's the other one. Chattahoochee definitely is.
Turn on the Radio.
Yeah.
The better question there
that,
is
of course,
that Jenna
is a Reba.
and Henry
Reba
danced
song.
to Alan Jackson after they got engaged, I think. Something like
they
that.
went. It was their third date. That's what it was.
All right. Also, I got
Thank
one for
you.
you. Follow up. He's in the Country Music Hall of Fame. His plaque is between two massive stars. Who are they?
Hank Williams. And
That's right, Pete.
That's way to go, Pete. And Willie Nelson.
George Jones.
Oh, George Jones. Oh, George Jones. Okay, well.
All of our trivia's off.
Yeah, it is.
Who on the show this week said, "If you can dream it, you can do it"? We spoke about what she was baking earlier.
Trisha Yearwood. Thank you.
Well, there you go. Right on the money, Maz. Way to go, Lib.
Thanks.
Jon Stewart sat down with Savannah to discuss his comeback to TV. What word did they repeatedly use to describe how often the show will air?
Octangle.
Octangle.
Great answer, Maz.
I want to see that show.
Follow up. Is this a real word?
No.
No, is correct.
There you go.
Carrie Sanders.
Right on the money, Maz.
I'm going to read this as is because it's fantastic. Carrie Sanders hit us with another slamming live shot this morning aboard a special crocodile spotting boat for his story on extinction. What is the name of the type of boat he was riding?
An airboat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's correct. Flat-bottom watercraft propelled by an aircraft.
That is such a. That's not
propeller.
Today's Show trivia.
Manning.
Well, he said it. He said it.
Full Manning, by the way.
And Maz has
Full
been
Manning.
on an
That's
airboat in his life.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I mean,
Demi Lovato was on the show talking about a belief in extraterrestrials.
Mm-hmm.
What national park did they travel to
Utah?
to connect with
Zion
the other
National Park.
Other side. Joshua Tree.
oh yeah.
Joshua Tree National
And they
Park.
meditated.
Mm-hmm.
And
they made contact.
They did.
Or tried to.
So they say. Bonus question.
Oh, we get an
Would
extra.
you
1 minute,
eat
Pete.
a spaghetti sandwich from M&M's Mom's Spaghetti Restaurant?
Yes.
Of course I would. It's spaghetti and bread. You can't go wrong.
That's right.
And
Two
I
great
will
tastes.
say,
It
just
tastes
speaking,
great
going back to a little plug for Today Food, one of the single biggest clicked thing on Today Food, spaghetti pie. Remember a few years ago somebody did spaghetti
that was
pie?
a good one.
That's
It
a
was.
deep pull, man.
It was.
Mom's
Every time I hear
spaghetti
spaghetti,
pie.
I think of that now.
Spaghetti pie is good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway.
Sure, it is. Well, it's been fun being
Oh,
with
my
you.
God.
Holly's given us the wrap. And the
Time
airboat.
flies.
What a question for Jeff
There you
today.
go.
Good job,
Thank you,
Manon.
Manon. We'll see everybody next week. Oprah Monday, Seinfeld Monday.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Well, hello to all of you watching our favorite streaming channel Today All Day. We are psyched to have you here for another edition of Popstar Plus. A little bonus time for what Al says is the best time of the morning. He's always been the Flavor Flav to my Chuck D. Today we're excited about the Winter Olympics as we're celebrating just 100 days to the opening ceremony. So on the show, we'll be catching up with two of Team USA's biggest stars and gold medal winners, skier Mikaela Shiffrin and snowboarder Chloe Kim. But first, here's Popstar. Extra pop star. First up, West Side Story, a new teaser for the highly anticipated remake. Director Steven Spielberg reveals a peek behind the scenes at the final days on set, and he also shares a new look at the stars of the film, Rachel Zegler and Ansel Elgort, alongside returning actress Rita Moreno.
We have been actually in production on this for months, but now to actually bring all those elements together as one voice into an ensemble. I'm just so proud and honored that I got this shot late in my career of being able to tell this story based on the 1957 Broadway musical.
Run away with me.
You don't want to start with, I'd like to take you out to coffee.
The behind the scenes looks great. It looks like a real movie like we used to shoot back in the 70s and 80s, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can tell by the scale of it. Almost like they shut down Hell's Kitchen. And it's not all CGI. It looks,
They're real
it
people
feels
out there.
epic. Yeah.
Big cast.
Yes. Ensemble, can't wait for
Can't
that.
wait.
Moreno returning to West Side Story as a new character who's the owner of the corner store that Tony works at. The Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony winning actress, that's AKA EGOT winner, also serves as an executive producer on the film. West Side Story set to hit theaters December 10th. Next up, Brian Wilson, the legendary musician and Beach Boys co-founder, is at the center of an upcoming documentary titled Brian Wilson, Long Promised Road. In the movie, Wilson takes a look back at his career through a series of interviews conducted while driving around LA with Rolling Stone editor-in-chief Jason Fine. The movie also features commentary from some of the biggest names in music, including Elton John and Bruce Springsteen.
Brian just threw away the rule book, just took you out of where you were and took you to another place.
There was no greater world created in rock and roll than the Beach Boys. The level of musicianship, I don't think anybody's touched it yet.
The idea of doing an interview makes Brian nervous. And this is kind of where things got difficult for you, huh?
Yeah.
What was going on?
I don't know. I was having mental problems.
Yeah. So we'll often ask if we can just take a drive and listen to some music. That must have been a really exciting time.
It was. It was a trip.
Love to hear more about that time. You know, the Beach Boys pushing the Beatles, the Beach Boys and Beatles back and forth. You know, Sgt. Pepper's was an album yielded by that competition. Brian Wilson and Paul McCartney, and it's all there. The documentary comes out. Its brand new song is attached to the documentary, recorded by Wilson. It's called Where I Belong. And Long Promised Road will be in theaters and on demand on the 19th of November, so soon. Next up, great story, Uncle Al. Chris Evans, Captain America star, trading in his vibranium shield for a Space Ranger costume in Disney's new upcoming animated movie, Lightyear.
What?
This film, scheduled to hit theaters next year, is going to tell the origin story of Buzz Lightyear.
Oh. Whoa.
Yes.
Wait.
That was formerly voice acted by Tim Allen. Here's a peek of this cool film.
It's a great concept.
Let all the children boogie. To infinity.
And beyond.
Isn't it cool how they're doing this in all
I'm in.
these multiplexes, like
Yes.
these worlds? Like we're getting all the stories from different.
That's right.
They're going back and telling stories on singular characters.
I didn't know that Buzz Lightyear had a backstory. I'm very excited.
Everyone has a backstory.
I know. Well, I
Even
can't wait.
Buzz.
What about Woody?
We'll probably get that at some point.
And Chris Evans, by the way, perfect to play this because he was a huge animated fan. He had a great statement that you should read, but he said in part this is a dream come true for him. Next up, The Blues Brothers. A docuseries is also in the works about the iconic characters brought to life by Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. You may remember the duo was first made popular thanks to all the hilarious SNL sketches before taking that act to the big screen and recording, by the way, 3 hit albums. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Aykroyd and Belushi's widow, Judith Belushi Pisano, are collaborating on this series, and the project will reportedly feature unseen material from the beloved characters and take a dive into the history and music of the Blues Brothers. No word yet on an official title or release date for the show, but we're already excited about it.
That's amazing.
Speaking of beloved characters, Tom Hanks is up next. The Hollywood nice guy recently made one couple's day when he crashed their wedding ceremony. Brides Diciembre and Tasha Ferries tied the knot last week on the beach in my hometown of Santa Monica, right by the pier. And when none other than Tom Hanks just popped in to congratulate them.
Awesome.
The couple said Hanks spent about 5 minutes chatting with them, and he even asked for a photo. Diciembre told Today we were so in our own moment for him to walk up, it was shocking and took us seconds to even realize what was going on. It was the cherry on top for our big day. Pretty cool. And finally, it's time to reveal the winner of our Halloween Horror Showdown Brack-O-Lantern. Let's take a look at the big board. We started with 8 of the scariest movies of all time, and thanks to tens of you who voted, we have narrowed it down to these top 2 contenders. The big classic from 1978, Halloween, going up against Stanley Kubrick's classic 1980 film.
It's gotta be The Shining.
It was really close. I thought, but yes, The Shining is the winner. That's right. After a tight race. Here's Johnny. Today.com.
53% of the vote. It was a tight one.
It was a very, very close race.
Wow.
Red rum.
By the way, let me just take a second to shamelessly plug our big program tomorrow. If you're looking for something a little bit less scary, well, it depends.
Well,
join us bright and early
maybe horrifying
for our annual Halloween costume reveal. And I think after, the pandemic and our reveal last year was great. We were able to do it safely.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward. I think we're all excited about getting back to this is prom for today's show.
Yes.
I don't realize it. This is like our biggest day of the year.
If people knew how much time and thought goes into Halloween.
I'm sleeping on this floor tonight because our rehearsal is so early tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've been rehearsing for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
This thing.
It's going to be a good one tomorrow, so we invite you to join us. And of course, it's Popstar Plus. We have to give you a little extra news, and we'll start with Tiger King. America's guilty pleasure is back for a second season. On Wednesday, Netflix dropped the first trailer for Tiger King 2, although series star Joe Exotic is currently serving a 22-year prison sentence on 2 murder-for-hire counts. The trailer teases new phone call recordings from the famous zookeeper from behind bars. And we get an update on what happened to the rest of the cast since the first season wrapped.
I'm paying the price for every one of them people. If you don't give a damn, it's time to speak it.
Lady Peaceful.
What happened to Don Lewis?
Carol knows something. He was dealing with some shady characters down in Costa Rica.
Don liked to play with dangerous stuff. I'll kill you for that.
Just when you think they can't pull off a second season, they do exactly that, and it looks quite intriguing. Tiger King 2 is going to start streaming on November 17th. We're going to end things on Lady Gaga. The Grammy winner stars as Patrizia Reggiani alongside Adam Driver in the upcoming biopic House of Gucci. And a new look at the Ridley Scott-directed film teases the start of the couple's infamous relationship. Take a peek.
We are a family business. Gucci, it is an empire.
equals style, power.
Gucci is like a cake. Then you'll have a taste. Then you want more. And then you'll want the whole thing for yourself.
Gucci needs no blood.
What game are you playing?
Can you keep a secret? Father, son, and House of Gucci.
See, that's just got me at hello. I'm ready to see that. House of Gucci premieres in theaters on November 24th. Those are your headlines for today. Coming up, we're going to be catching up with U.S. skier superstar Mikaela Shiffrin. Just 100 days to go until the Winter Olympics. Can you believe it? That's next.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Grab your apron for a new podcast, Cooking Up a Storm with Al Roker. My forecast, yummy. Some of the best chefs spill the beans on family secrets to get you ready for Thanksgiving. This is fun. Bringing the heat for the holidays. Follow now wherever you get your podcasts. For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Let's go. We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age? You have nothing to prove because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back!
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Let's go! International Day of the Girl.
The strength and courage of these women is remarkable.
What's your message to girls who want to make a difference?
Believe in yourself. You can make it happen.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
And you're back with us here on Popstar Plus. We appreciate it. 100 days from now, the world's going to come together for the opening ceremony of the 2022 Winter Olympics. And to mark the occasion, we caught up with Team USA's biggest skiing star, two-time gold medal winner, Mikaela Shiffrin.
No celebration would be complete without one of Team USA's biggest names. We're talking about Mikaela Shiffrin. She is a superstar, two-time Olympic gold medal winner. She has big plans for the games, big goals, and she's already off to an incredible start. She won the giant slalom, won it in the season opening World Cup event just last weekend. Mikaela, you're off and running. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So, I mean, there's a long time in skiing terms between now and the Olympics. But you do have big goals. What are they?
Yeah, big old goals. Those goals, they'll get you every time. I mean, right now I'm a little bit focused on the World Cup season, but I mean, your eyes always set a little bit on the Olympics. And after coming back from Solden and winning the first race, I feel like it's like the first check mark on my journey to hopefully be able to compete in every event at the games.
That's
hopefully
compete in every event.
Every alpine skiing event.
No, that's a big deal. Mikaela, only you could even consider that as a potential because you excel in both kinds of ski racing.
So there's six alpine events total, and I wanted to do that in South Korea. I actually wanted to ski in 5 events in South Korea, and a lot of things happened that just made it not possible. And it looks like, you know, it might be some difficult weather in Beijing. We'll see. But I think with anything I learned from South Korea is that you just have to roll with the punches. And
there are a lot of cool things about you. One of them is you say that you are not defined by your success. I mean, I feel like you're a really grounded human being. Like if you don't have a great day, so what? Like you seem like you are secure in what you do. So when you're getting ready to go down and do one of your runs, like what's kicking through your head at that moment?
I'm just trying to focus on my skiing as much as possible, because there are some athletes who are so driven just to win that just their motivation to win alone is what actually gets them to the finish line faster. But for me, it's always been about good skiing and like the turns that I make along the way. So I don't know, it's a little bit like that metaphorical. It's the journey, not the end destination. But it's true for me. That's how I've always had my best races, just skiing well.
And just in case people, last they checked in with you, you were winning gold 5 years ago at the Olympics, and now here you are winning again in your most recent race. In between, you've had incredible challenges. You lost your father. You've dealt with anxiety and the stress of that, and then a pandemic to boot. How are you feeling, and how has that journey been for you?
Well, I guess it's been life, and I think everybody's dealing with something. We're all dealing with the pandemic, so that's one thing we all have in common. For me personally and my family, dealing with unexpected death of my dad was the most difficult thing I've ever survived. And that's, it's okay. It's okay to talk about it. I think it's been, over the last couple of years, it's been important to talk about. And a lot of people actually seem to be able to relate to that on some level, because aside from the pandemic, everybody's dealing with something on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And there's a lot of loss and grief and sadness out there, but there's also a lot of strength and hope. And I think it's important for us to all be able to connect on the more positive side of it.
You really personify that. You do.
After your dad passed, did you think about whether or not you would ski again? Was that something that you thought about?
Yeah, I did. I wondered if it was really worth it. There's a really long time that I didn't really feel like it was worth it to care about anything. So it seemed like I'm not going to go ski race again, because the most fundamental thing of an athlete is that you have to care about your sport, and you have to care about doing well at your sport. And I just didn't. I just thought I don't care about actually really anything in life. So it's been a long process to get that motivation and that actually the feeling of caring back. And I don't know, a lot more good days than bad now, but it's still difficult.
It's not easy to talk about, but I'm so glad you did, because I want people to know what a triumph it is, what you just did last weekend, and what you're setting out to do.
Thanks.
It's a triumph in every single way, just you being here.
You guys are going to make me cry.
No, but I just, know, so you're also a huge, I just want to say before you go, I love that you're a huge fan of the Olympics, and I heard that, actually I heard we were in Tokyo, we heard you screaming for the athletes all the way back in the U.S. You're a huge fan. Do you watch, I heard you taped the Olympics and then would watch them later.
Yeah, we were taping everything, and then we had it going streaming on Peacock and always in the background. And the gym I work out back home at the Westin is they always had it on multiple TV screens. So I'm doing my squats and I'm looking up and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I'm like, one more breath.
Well, you can guarantee that they're going to be watching you doing the exact same thing. Mikaela, we are cheering you on. Congratulations. So happy you're here with us.
Go get them.
Oh, man, I'm getting excited. The games are starting in 100 days. Next up, right here on Popstar Plus, we're going to keep our Winter Olympics theme rolling on with snowboarding star Chloe Kim. She'll tell us all about a big love in her life. Yes, her dog Reese.
Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. There is some late-breaking news.
All right, it is.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work, or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today.
Let's go.
We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age? You have nothing to prove, because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back!
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Welcome back to Popstar Plus. During the 2018 Winter Olympics, Chloe Kim, at the ripe old age of 17 years old, became the youngest gold medal winner in Olympic snowboarding history. She's hoping for a repeat in 2022 and training with a fierce companion by her side, her Australian Shepherd, Reese. Check out what Chloe had to tell us in this edition of My Pet Tale.
This is my cute little Australian Shepherd, Reese. She is 4 years old and she is my best friend. I've always wanted an Australian Shepherd, like since I was a kid. I've just always wanted one. So I went online and found her. She was actually all the way in Texas, and the day I was gonna go pick her up, something came up, so my dad had to fly to Texas to go pick her up. So my dad's such a trooper, but he flew to Austin and picked her up there and then flew back with her like an hour later. And my dad just like walked out of the terminal like with this little chubby spotted dog. And I just put her in my lap, and it was just love at first sight. She like would follow me around everywhere. She was my first puppy. Like I've never had a puppy before, so I had no idea what I was doing. She was like, had really bad separation anxiety in the beginning. So I remember like sleeping with her like downstairs in the living room on like a body pillow. So uncomfortable. But I did that for like 3 days, and then I was like, okay, maybe I should just let her, do her thing at night. She actually kind of looked like a Reese's Pieces when I first met her, because she had like these really like dark brown spots, these really white spots, and like her little caramel spots. So I just thought she kind of looked like a Reese's Pieces. So it took me a few days, and then I decided I wanted to name her Reese. Reese has the biggest personality. She is just so down for an adventure. Like the minute I stand up, she's like, okay, cool, where are we going? Like, what are we doing? I'm like, chill, like I'm just gonna go to the bathroom or something. But she'll like always follow me around. She's just down for anything. She loves to play. She loves her ball. She loves squeaky balls. She also loves the little like doggy puzzles where she like does the little puzzles to like find treats. And she's really smart, and she's just a little cuddle bug. She's kind of standoffish sometimes. Like she's like, okay, mom, like stop petting me. Like I don't want love. But the minute she wants love and attention, she'll just snuggle up to you and just like flop on your lap, kind of like this. And then she'll just stay for hours. Reese quickly became like a very important member of the family. When I told my family I wanted a puppy, like an Australian Shepherd puppy, everyone was so against it. Like, because, I understood because I travel a lot, and that would mean like they'd have to take care of her while I was gone. And then we got her, and my sisters came over one day when she was still like a baby. We got her when she was like 8 weeks old. So when she was still a baby, they came. And they instantly fell in love with her because she was like so small and just this cute little bundle of joy and energy. And now they argue over who gets to watch her when I'm gone. It's like my parents want her, but then my sisters one sister wants her, but my other sister really wants her. So they're always just arguing about who gets to keep her. We do almost everything together. Just anytime I go outside, I always want to bring Reese. So we do everything together. We're going to Mammoth, and she's coming with us, and she loves the snow. So it's perfect for her. She loves snowballs. She loves digging in the snow. I took her to Mammoth actually when she was a baby, like the week I got her, and took her to the snow, and she had so much fun. I remember like the minute she stepped on, she just had the zoomies and she was running in circles, and I couldn't get her back because she was just so excited. She was digging holes everywhere. She gets so excited. Like we'll drive up to some snow and she'll start whining and just wants to go outside like it's crazy. And she just loves to dig out little ice cookies. She'll like carry them around. She'll like play with them. So it's fun. She has been around while I was training. My parents brought her to Colorado when we were training, and it was so much fun. I would go to the like ski resort and go throw her ball like up the hill, and she'd like run up the hill and get it and come back down, and she like loved it. As the Olympics get closer, I'm really looking forward to just going again, honestly. I think it's crazy that I get to say I'm an Olympian, and you know, it's just such an honor to go and represent the United States at the Olympics. I just think it'll be so much fun, and I'm really excited I haven't been to where the Olympics are gonna be held for us, so I'm excited to see what that's gonna look like. We were supposed to go this season, but because of COVID, everything kind of got canceled. I just don't know what I'd do without her. She just gives me something to do. Because I feel like I've been so just like kind of sad, I guess, that we have to be inside all the time, and trying to do the right thing is kind of driving me crazy. But it's nice because she like motivates me to go outside more, like go on a hike or like go on a walk and like go take her and, you know, have fun. So she's been nice. She'll like whine if she wants to go play or something, so I'll always take her out when she does. But she just makes me happy, you know? I love it when she's happy, and it makes me happy. Like my life revolves around Reese. Even when I'm in Switzerland or something and I'll see like a big field of grass or like snow or whatever, and I'm always thinking about her. It's like, Reese would love it here. I might move here just for Reese. Reese has made my life so much better, I think. Reese is seriously my best friend. She's always there for me. Like when I have a bad day and I'm like crying, she'll like come and lick the tears off my face and like sit next to me and just like she'll always keep an eye on me when I'm sad. It's the craziest thing. Like she won't leave my side. Or she's like very protective, like very, very protective. Like if someone if like a stranger is like walking towards us, she'll like sit in front of me, like sit on me, like in front of me, and like keep an eye on that person. And then when they go, she'll like go back and like play. But even like when my boyfriend, she gets jealous because she's actually has a crush on my boyfriend. I figured that out. She's always cuddling my boyfriend, always around my boyfriend, always looking at my boyfriend with these loving eyes. So if he tries to hug me, she'll like put herself in between us. It's the funniest thing, and she'll just like lick both of us like crazy. But she just brings so much joy into my life. Like my family and I just love her so much. It just makes me really happy that she's happy. I literally treat her like my child, like she's my daughter. So even like when people like compliment her and like, you know, I take it very personally. Like I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Like I also think my dog is beautiful. It just makes me so happy. I just think we do everything together. She's down to do everything. She is so smart and such a good listener that it's like just so easy. She makes having a dog just so easy, and I'm so grateful for her. I don't even think she knows how happy I am to have her in my life. But everyone loves Reese. She's just a likable dog. Like I will always bring her on set with me. And she like owns the set. She'll like walk around. She'll like go get pets from everyone. She'll like run laps. She gets zoomies, and it just makes me happy, like knowing that I'm taking care of something else that's like happy to live with me, and like share their space with me. But also like she's cute, you know? She's so cute.
Come here, one last time. Oh yeah.
Oh. She's so cute. I love her so much.
It's great to hear how pets are helping shape the lives of people, even the world's biggest sports stars. Coming up next on Popstar Plus, a special clip from our vaults featuring the one and only Julia Roberts.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends in today in a whole new way.
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
That's just
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas. Weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today.
Let's go.
We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age? You have nothing to prove because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back!
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts. Welcome back to Popstar Plus. Today is Julia Roberts' 54th birthday, and we've enjoyed so many moments with Julia over the years, including going all the way back to 1988 when she spoke to Today about playing Daisy in the classic movie Mystic Pizza.
I know people like Daisy. I don't know if I'm necessarily, I don't really consider myself a bombshell. I think if people were going to describe Daisy in a word, they'd say, you know, she's hot. And maybe if they were going to describe me in a word, they'd say, she's nice. She's really full of fire and full of spice and doesn't really think about what she's going to do and say before she does it. And therefore, it's kind of caution to the wind and let's just go with it. And so she gave me kind of this feeling of a free-for-all, and I could do and say what I wanted to. And if I was, you know, questioned, I'm acting.
Wow, talk about a throwback Thursday for that one. That is going to do it for us here at Popstar Plus for today. Thank you so much. And please join us again right here tomorrow. Have a great day.
Hello, Earthlings. You're here today all day. We're so glad you're watching us. It's Thursday, one day closer to the weekend, one day closer to our big Halloween special.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. We do have a lot to get to today. So here is what is coming your way. We're starting with the latest on that shooting on the set of Alec Baldwin's movie. Just ahead, what the sheriff told us about where things stand in that investigation and when a decision could be made on possible criminal charges.
And then we marked a milestone today, 100 days until the Winter Olympics. We'll take a look at the hopes and challenges that are facing thousands of the world's very best athletes with the opening ceremony just 3 months away.
Wow. And then coming up on the 4th hour, Jenna and I hit the Big Apple on a mystery adventure. You're going to like to see where we end up on that one.
So let's get it started.
All right.
Let's get to time for
Today in 30. We do start with those new findings in the fatal movie set shooting in New Mexico. Investigators have now determined that the shot fired by actor Alec Baldwin was, in fact, a live bullet. Authorities have not filed criminal charges, but say that does remain a possibility. Coming up, we're going to speak with the sheriff leading that investigation. But first, NBC national correspondent Miguel Almaguer joins us with the latest details. Hey, Miguel, good morning.
Hoda, good morning. A major question here. How did a live bullet get onto a movie set when it is strictly prohibited? It's one of several major missteps that cost a life.
On the set of Rust, investigators now confirm Alec Baldwin fired a single live bullet that traveled through the body of cinematographer Helena Hutchins and became lodged in the shoulder of director Joel Souza. While rehearsing a scene similar to this one, Baldwin was handed a Colt 45 revolver he was told was safe to use before squeezing the trigger.
We believe that we have in our possession the firearm that was fired by Mr. Baldwin. We also believe that we have the spent shell casing from the bullet that was fired from the gun.
According to a search warrant, the revolver was put into Baldwin's hands by Assistant Director Dave Halls. He says the Colt 45 came from armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed, who told investigators no live ammo is ever kept on set. Halls says Hannah showed him the firearm, but he could only remember seeing 3 rounds. He advised he should have checked all of them, but didn't, and couldn't recall if she spun the drum.
The 2 people who handled the weapon in this case, whose job it was to ensure safety,
obviously made some serious missteps. Shouldn't they face criminal charges?
We just can't say that at this point.
How come?
Because the investigation's not complete. We know that mistakes happened. We're not exactly sure who did it, when they did it, how they did it.
At the scene, investigators questioned 16 cast and crew members inside the church where Hutchins, a cinematographer on the rise, was killed. 600 items of evidence were recovered, including 3 guns and 500 rounds of ammunition, both blanks and suspected live rounds. With authorities now investigating reports Russ staff may have been taking live target practice while not filming, any potential criminal charges could be weeks, even months away. This morning, the investigation still unfolding in a tragedy that should have never happened.
So, Miguel, let's talk a timeline for this investigation. How long could it be before they decide whether or not to file charges?
Well, Hoda, we're told it could take weeks, if not months. And of course, a major focus of that investigation is not just going to be how did that bullet get onto the set, but specifically who put the bullet into the gun and should that person face criminal charges. Hoda.
All right, Miguel, thanks. And again, we'll have more in our next half hour with the sheriff of Santa Fe. He'll join us live.
We're back with more on this morning's top story, the investigation into that fatal shooting on the set of Alec Baldwin's new movie. Officials have announced the prop gun that was used had been loaded with both dummy and live rounds of ammunition, or at least one live round. Investigators also found what they describe as some complacency with how weapons were handled on that set.
And if the sheriff's office determines during our investigation a crime has occurred and probable cause exists, an arrest or arrests will be made and charges will be filed.
That was the sheriff of Santa Fe County, New Mexico, Adon Mendoza, who joins us now. Mr. Sheriff, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So you have identified the 2 people who handled that weapon and ammunition before handing it to Alec Baldwin, the assistant director and the armorer. Is that who faces criminal legal exposure right now?
Well, I can say this, that those 2 individuals are obviously the focus of the investigation, so they're the focus.
And what about Alec Baldwin? By all accounts, according to court documents, he was handed that weapon and told it was a cold gun, in other words, not containing live ammunition. Is he in the clear as far as the criminal case is concerned?
Nobody's been cleared as of yet. Again, there's 3 people that handled the firearm prior to the death of Miss Hutchins. So those people will be interviewed, are the focus of the investigation, and so and nobody's been cleared as of yet.
What pieces of information do you need to determine whether this was just a tragic accident or something that rises to the level of a criminal case?
Well, I think during the interviews and the focus of the investigation is how the live rounds got there, who brought them there, and why they were there. As far as how, if it's going to rise to the point of negligence or the point of criminal charges, we're hoping to work with the district attorney in reference to that, so a clear determination is made whether charges should be filed.
Well, you determined and announced yesterday that it was in fact a live round that was fired from that weapon and killed the victim here. Do you know why live rounds would be on a movie set? Is there any good reason they should be there?
I absolutely don't. I think the information that we've got in the industry is that there should be no live rounds on set. So again, we're going to try to determine why they were there and who brought them there.
And according to the court documents, the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, told your investigators, quote, no live ammo is ever kept on set. Given your investigation so far, is that an accurate and truthful statement?
No, obviously it isn't. That was a live round that struck and killed Miss Hutchins, so that is not an accurate statement as far as I'm concerned.
The assistant director, Dave Halls, told your investigators that he looked at the barrel of the gun and he looked at 3 of the chambers, but it wasn't spun around for him, and he's not sure if he saw the other chambers. How do you determine whether or not that is, again, simply a mistake or something that rises to the level of criminal recklessness?
Again, we're going to continue the investigation. We'd like to do some follow-up interviews with Mr. Halls and get some clarification in exactly what he meant by that statement. I'm aware of the statement. It was in the affidavit, but there's some follow-up interviews that we would like to have with Mr. Halls.
There have been reports from crew members in the press saying that there had been 2 accidental gun discharges on that very set prior to this incident. Have you been able to confirm that?
I'm aware of the statements. There have been statements that are made that there was a live fire and target practice on the scene or on the set. We are going to track down that information and try and confirm whether that's a fact or not.
What about target practice? That's another issue that's been in the news. People have told reporters there were some people on the crew in their downtime doing target practice with live rounds. Were you able to gather any information about that?
Not as of yet. Again, our investigators are aware of those statements, and we encourage anybody that has that information of where that took place and when it took place to contact the sheriff's office so we can follow up on that information.
Well, finally, sir, I mean, we can see that there are a lot of open questions here. Do you have a timeline in terms of when you think this investigation can be completed?
You know, we're working diligently. There is no timeline. There's a lot of people that need to be interviewed. And when you interview people, there's more information that may come to light. So there isn't a timeline. We want to do a thorough investigation. And I can assure you that our investigators are working hard and diligently to get this completed as thoroughly and complete as possible.
Well, Santa Fe County Sheriff Adán Mendoza, thank you for waking up early and for your time this morning, sir. We appreciate it.
Stick around because there is much more coming up on Today in 30.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today.
Let's go.
We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age? You have nothing to prove because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back!
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
These are our Olympic hopefuls, ladies and gentlemen. Back inside.
Yes. All right, we're just getting started. We're going to get more on this milestone morning and the countdown to the Winter Olympics.
Yeah. Today's senior international correspondent Keir Simmons joins us now with a look at the hope and some of the challenges facing thousands of the world's best athletes. Good to see you, my friend.
Craig, good morning to you. Savannah, good morning, guys. Hard to believe, isn't it, that the ice rinks are open again for the holidays. Hard to believe that we were only just in Tokyo and now, very soon, we'll be in Beijing. Now, honestly, Beijing is set to be tougher than Tokyo. There isn't just the coronavirus to deal with. There's also all the politics surrounding the Chinese government's policies towards the world and internally. But talking to some of Team USA's best, it's really impressive the way they stay focused on the sport. The opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympics stunned the world back in 2008. Now, in just 3 months, China will be back in the spotlight. And so will the world's athletes, nearly 3,000 from 95 nations. One-time wonder kid of snowboarding, Shaun White, has 3 gold medals. Winning a 4th in the same event would make history.
I know what that fire and that drive and motivation can do to you as an athlete.
Team USA's Nathan Chen, a gold medal favorite on the ice.
Triple toe.
Both his parents born in China.
To be able to have the opportunity to go to Beijing for an Olympics is really meaningful.
45% of the athletes will be female, a Winter Games record. Among them, Mikaela Shiffrin says she could compete in 5 events. This Winter Games set to present another huge challenge for Olympic organisers too. Just like Tokyo last summer, there'll be strict COVID protocols. Athletes must be vaccinated or face a 3-week quarantine. Daily COVID tests will be mandatory. Athletes will be restricted to a closed loop, only travelling to specific destinations. And spectators will be allowed, but only if they are from mainland China. While China's Winter Olympics are set to be held in a very different political climate than the Summer Games. A far more assertive Chinese government stands accused of stealing industrial secrets, human rights abuses, and cyber spying. Beijing, in turn, accuses American leaders of China bashing. And yet, in 100 days, it will welcome the world's top athletes, including Team USA, as well as international delegations and dignitaries. Yes. As many athletes try to focus only on the sport.
I've been skating since I was 3 years old and spent almost every single waking minute at the ice rink, you know? So when it comes down to it, I just want to focus on my skating and do the best that I can on the ice. And, you know, that's all there is to it. Just focus on my skating.
Olympic organisers hoping global attention focuses on athletic achievement.
It's been my life's work, and I'm so proud that I'm still able to compete on a high level. And I'm gonna give it everything I have for this games.
And guys, for 4 straight Olympics until 2014, Team USA finished in 1st or 2nd place. In Pyeongchang, the US was in 4th place. Will they do better in Beijing? We'll be watching.
Yes, we will.
Come on, Kier.
Kier, go skate off. Skate off into the sun.
Are you on skates, Kier?
I don't think he heard you.
I'm not, I'm afraid, my friend. I'm going to get out there after this.
Okay.
All right. Thank
You got 100 days to make the team, okay?
What do you say we go for
That's
a boost?
boost o'clock.
It is indeed. All right, a 10-year-old daredevil, his name is Tyler Haney, was once the youngest person in Europe to perform a backflip on a scooter, but even he couldn't believe what happened this week. He landed a double backflip. Stop. Wait, look at Tyler.
What if his dad would be like, I wasn't rolling?
Tyler was close to tears when he realized what he had done. By the way, he said that stunt had haunted him because he tried it before and he kind of landed wrong.
Man.
Hit it.
No room for error there, by the way.
This is what he said because he had fallen a couple of times before. He said this time, I quote, smashed the wall of fear into pieces.
That's right.
Come on.
How old is he?
He's 10. Wow. Get back on your horse.
Can you imagine how many times you had to practice that too?
Imagine being the parent watching that.
No.
I mean,
No, I did not either.
Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. There is some late-breaking news.
All right, Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today.
Let's go.
We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age? You have nothing to prove because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back.
News is more than a headline. It informs, it inspires, and it still matters. To cover it, you have to be in it. And that's what we're gonna do. Every night, we take you to the front lines of the story, where it's actually happening, with NBC News journalists on the ground from all over the world. We cover what you need to know and bring your newsfeed to life. In primetime and streaming live, it's your news playlist every night.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your newsfeed to life. Streaming live every night, It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. There is some late-breaking news.
All right,
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
This morning, a Consumer Confidential to prepare you for the busy holiday travel season.
Air travel taking off, so to speak, up to nearly 900,000 travelers from this time last year. But there's still a lot of uncertainty around flying.
So we decided to get us an expert on booking, canceling fees, and so much more. Points guy Brian Kelly is with us. Brian,
Hi.
good to see you.
You know your stuff when we call you a points guy.
That's right. It's been a long time since you've been in studio, so it's good to have you.
Good to be back.
Okay, so a lot of folks are trying to book last minute, making those plans. What can we do to try to get a little break on that flexibility?
Yeah, so I mean, the number one thing, so many people have miles, credit card points, frequent flyer miles, use them. You know, over the pandemic, they've just been increasing. So use your points and miles, because most airlines now will let you get all of them back for free.
Oh.
Now, that's in contrast to when you buy a ticket and you want to change it, they'll give you a voucher, which is kind of hard to use.
Right.
So if you've got those frequent flyer miles, absolutely use them, especially for those really expensive flights like to Wichita. You know, you'll be shocked at how expensive domestic airfare is rising these days.
How do you use try to figure out, when do I use points as opposed to paying cash?
Yeah, you know, it's pretty simple math. In general, you want to be getting more than 1 cent per mile in points. So if the airline's charging you 100,000 miles for that trip, if it's over $1,000 to pay for it, I say just use the miles.
See, I never knew that.
Yeah.
1 cent per mile. That's actually.
But the thing is, if you're a miles hoarder, like so many people, because they haven't been traveling, my point is just use the miles, because you get that added flexibility.
Yeah.
If for any reason you want to change, you get them all back, versus having your money tied up in these vouchers.
Yeah, Thanksgiving and then Christmas fast approaching. We're actually traveling for Thanksgiving. When's the best time to book a ticket for those holidays?
Right now. You know, you really, Thanksgiving, you want to have booked by this weekend. We're seeing trends that starting November 1st, you may pay up to 40% more.
Oh my God.
So you can always book, and even if the airfare goes down, you should always check. And if it actually drops, a lot of airlines like Southwest will actually give you a credit for the difference.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't realize. And same thing with hotels. If you've got a refundable hotel rate, keep checking the rates. And if you find something right before you go, rebook at the lower rate.
But you have to call them. You have to call.
You can do a lot of it online, actually, yeah.
Okay, so with COVID and plans change, especially nowadays. Is there anything we can do to try to avoid some of those change fees?
Absolutely. So the airlines were very nice and said free change fees during the pandemic, but this spring they started to put in new rules like, except on the cheapest tickets, which is what most people buy.
Yeah.
So what I recommend, if you're going to change a flight that has huge change fees, wait. Because if the airline changes the times on the flights, which they're doing all the time, or if they cancel it, you are owed a full cash refund. So I say wait it out. Play the waiting game with the airline. You never know if there's going to be a storm that week where they actually give you waivers.
Before you cancel it too early out.
Exactly, especially if you're going to be hit with huge change fees.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
wait it out.
That's good.
And we just saw with Southwest, they had those massive cancellations last week. What happens and what recourse do you have if, as you said, the airline either cancels, they change the time, and it maybe throws off your connections? What can you do?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but in the U.S., we don't have many legal rights. Now, if you're in Europe, there are strict rules saying how much money you get if the airline is delayed. So you got to protect yourself. Highly recommend book your travel on a credit card that has trip interruption or cancellation coverage. It's much easier to get money from a credit card company than it is from an airline these days. And lots of popular credit cards have it. And most people don't even know.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so today, check your credit cards, see which ones have that coverage. But also book the earliest flight of the day. You know, what happened with Southwest was as delays start, it's a domino effect.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, even if you're not a morning person, get out on that first flight of the day so that you hopefully don't have delays. But, once again, when your flight's canceled or delayed, don't wait in that 300-person line in the airport. I know that's what so many of us are programmed to do.
Right. Get online.
Get on your phone. Most airlines now have really savvy rebooking tools, because if you're waiting in that line with everyone in front of you, chances are those last seats to get home are being snapped up by each and every person.
So get online, not in line.
Like, don't tell everybody else.
You like that?
Yeah.
You can use that.
That's good. You're good.
That's why he's the points guy.
Yeah,
That's
it's really helpful.
Brian, thanks so much. And you can hear more of Brian's great advice. He's going to be chatting with our own Jill Martin on Instagram Live at 10:30. So head to our Today Instagram page for that. You can also download the Points Guy app. He's got an app to learn about points, miles, and loyalty programs.
Jill Martin's show happy hour. You're going to do the happy hour at 10:30 in the morning?
10:30 a.m. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
right.
points guy.
Happy hour somewhere.
All right, Points Guy. There you go.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work, or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today.
Let's go.
We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age? You have nothing to prove, because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back.
Grab your apron for a new podcast, Cooking Up a Storm with Al Roker.
My forecast, yummy.
Some of the best chefs spill the beans on family secrets to get you ready for Thanksgiving.
This is fun. Bringing the heat for the holidays.
Follow now wherever you get your podcasts.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Today we kick off a new series called H&J Love NYC, where Hoda and I get to celebrate all the incredible sights and sounds New York City is famous for.
Yeah, it's a city we love so much, but there's a twist. Okay, get this. We show up blindfolded with a duffel bag, and we have no idea where we're headed, what we're doing. All we're told is get ready for some fun. Jenna, where are you?
Hoda, I can't see a thing.
I know, I think that's kind of the point.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess it is, but where are we and where are we going?
I think we're going on a big New York City adventure. At least I think so. I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Well,
let's go.
This way. Hold on. Be careful.
No, that way.
Are we going to the Rangers game? Rangers game! Yes! We are at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, and we're here to see the New York Rangers face off against the Calgary Flames. We haven't even gone in yet, and the energy, it's electric.
Ladies, how are you? How are you? Welcome, Kevin Weeks.
Kevin Weeks is a big deal. He played goalie in the NHL for 12 seasons. That's 348 games in the goalie box, including a stint right here with the New York Rangers.
We are going to be going to the penalty box. Yeah, exactly.
We live there.
Yeah, exactly. We're also going to watch a little bit of the pregame warm-up in there, too.
Are we going right now?
We're going to go right now.
Let's go.
Let's do it. This man is here.
I like Foxy.
Yeah, Foxy's the man. And he went to Harvard, too.
What?
Wait,
Foxy?
Harvard. Yeah, Foxy did. College hockey at Harvard. So he's like, yeah, exactly.
Get away, Foxy!
How about a round of applause for the Rangers pre-game Zamboni riders, Hoda and Jenna.
You didn't think we'd make our way all the way down to the ice and not go for a ride on the Zam, did you?
How was jumping the load?
It was fun. You know what? It's like a kid with a Tonka truck.
That was so fun. Thank you so much.
Next up, it's game time, baby. It tastes just like mac and cheese frozen.
But I think it's good.
And you never know who else you're going to find in the stands.
Michael. Oh my God! Michael Gandolfini. I'm so excited.
That's actor Michael Gandolfini, who just so happens to be starring in The Sopranos prequel, The Many Saints of Newark.
Like this.
And the party isn't over just yet. Someone suggests the two of us toss some t-shirts.
All right, y'all. Let's toss some shirts. Hockey is fun. First of all, it's a party. Okay? If you've watched it on TV, it's not hockey.
Yes.
You have to be in the stadium. You got to hear the noise. You got to hear the people.
Everybody was so nice. We were cheering. It's so
It was fun. Let's go
Rangers. Bum, 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 bum. Off to the next adventure. Nothing will top the Rangers.
I was going to say, how can we top
We
it?
can't top tonight.
But can we top tonight? By the way, we got to say thanks to Allie and our crew for that great job
How
that they did.
awesome. We had
It was
a
fun.
blast.
By the way, we're going on another adventure today.
We don't know where we're
heading out. We don't know where we're going.
We don't know anything.
We got to thank the Garden, Madison Square Garden, the New York Rangers, Kevin Weeks. You guys made us feel right at home.
Look, that was just the appetizer.
Yeah.
The main course is tomorrow, our annual Halloween spectacular.
You guys at home, you don't miss it. We have a cool costume reveal. If you can, come out to our plaza too. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.
Hey, Today All Day. We've got a great show for you on this Tuesday morning, including an all-day exclusive chat you can only see here. We kick it off with Carson giving us all the buzzy headlines with Pop Start.
Best time of the morning.
There it is.
Pop Start had his coffee. Bam!
Thank you, Uncle Al. Appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. Let's get right to it. First up, Princess Diana. A reception at Kensington Palace to remember Diana and thank those who contributed to make a new tribute statue possible, set to take place tonight. Pop Start correspondent Molly Hunter is here with all the details. Hey, Molly.
Hey guys, good morning from a very windy Kensington Palace. That's right. So Kensington Palace says tonight is a private event. We understand that there will be a lot of high-profile donors and benefactors there to celebrate the legacy of Princess Diana.
This morning, preparations are underway for a party fit for a princess. Months after Prince William and Prince Harry unveiled this statue of their mother in a small, intimate gathering, today a larger private reception, postponed because of COVID, a moment to acknowledge those who made the statue possible.
This wasn't paid by the British nation, it wasn't paid by the UK government, it was paid by donations and benefactors.
Now open to the public, overlooking the sunken garden at Kensington Palace, the statue depicts Princess Diana as a humanitarian, surrounded by 3 children. Both brothers worked closely with the sculptor to bring their vision to life, reuniting on what would have been Diana's 60th birthday. There had even been some hope that the memory of their mother might heal the rift between them.
We all kept our fingers crossed that this was going to be an occasion that would bring the boys together. Those hopes were dashed when the unveiling happened, and then I think people thought, well, maybe October will be the moment they'd come together, and those hopes have been dashed.
But today, only one of her sons, the country's future king, will be here to greet Princess Diana's supporters. Harry, Meghan, little Archie, and Lilibet are not crossing the pond for today's ceremony, a sign that all may not be healed. At home in the U.S., Harry and Meghan recently teaming up with the Wall Street firm Ethic after a whirlwind trip to New York City last month. While here in the UK, Prince William focusing on the Earthshot Prize, the star-studded environmental awards over the weekend, speaking passionately about climate change.
We need some of the world's greatest brains and minds fixed on trying to repair this planet.
Both sons separately doing the kind of work that would make their mother so proud.
Now, Carson, of course, big question. Are we going to see those brothers together anytime soon? You heard Daisy McAndrew says there are a lot of crossed fingers on this side of the Atlantic that maybe, just maybe, Harry and Meghan might fly little Lilibet over Christmas for her very first visit. Carson, I'll send it back to you.
Fingers crossed here, Molly. Thank you so much. Over 10 years of hard-hitting journalism. It means a lot on Popstart to get Molly's professionalism. That's Matrix Award material right there.
Yes, it is.
Molly Hunter.
Yeah, and they have nitwits riding behind people just like they
and
do
the guy on the bike is excited for the story.
Yeah.
Next up, Mel Brooks, a 95-year-old comedy legend, is back with a new take on one of his classics. Brooks set to write and produce a sequel series to the 81 movie History of the World Part 1. The original film told the story of civilians throughout history with Brooks' classic slapstick style of comedy. The upcoming 8-part variety series based on the movie will be co-written and produced by Nick Kroll, Wanda Sykes, and Ike Barinholtz. A cast for the History of the World Part 2 has yet to be announced, but the series is set to stream on Hulu. 95, writing and producing.
I was wondering how old he was. About 95, okay.
Incredible. Next up, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The lineup of the star-studded presenters for this year's ceremony has officially been announced, and they are Taylor Swift, Paul McCartney, Drew Barrymore, Jennifer Hudson, Lionel Richie, and Christina Aguilera. They're all going to help to induct the incoming class of Hall of Famers. This year's ceremony celebrated a number of first-time inductees, including the Go-Go's and Jay-Z, and marked the second honor for 3 other artists, Tina Turner, Carole King, and Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl. The 36th annual Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony will take place on Saturday, October 30th. It'll air on HBO, HBO Max, and SiriusXM. And finally, Hoda, it's all about you. Yesterday, you were among the honorees at the 2021 Matrix Award ceremony, an annual event that celebrates the most outstanding female leaders in the field of communications. Our good friend, your close friend, Maria Shriver, was there to present you with the award, and in typical Hoda fashion, you left us with some lovely pearls of wisdom in your speech.
If you want something bad enough, say it out loud. A friend once said, even if you whisper it in the bathroom mirror to yourself. One thing I always wanted was kids, and I was afraid to speak it. And one day I just looked at Joel, and I basically said, I want you to think about this for a minute. I want you to take some time, because I'm about to ask you something very important. Take a week and think about it. And he looked scared, and I looked at him and I said, I would like to explore adoption with you. And he paused for a nanosecond and said, I don't need a week. I don't need a minute. The answer is yes. So say your dreams out loud. If you speak them, sometimes they do come true.
I want a new Ford F-150 Raptor. I want a new Ford. I want a new Ford.
By the way,
Carson, you're so shallow.
Carson,
is it here?
No,
Carson,
sorry.
Carson, do you know who the friend was who told me to speak it out loud? Even if you whisper it in the bathroom mirror?
Oh,
bingo.
Well, a former Matrix winner.
That's right. That's right. Where's your Matrix? Where's Popstart's Matrix?
The honorable mention is coming.
It's for ladies, right?
Yeah.
It's a ladies. Well, our friend Molly Hunter, the journalist.
Yes.
And you can give the speech to your pickup truck. That would be
I will. I have one written already. I just need the truck.
Congratulations, Hoda.
Congratulations.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
What if we want more Popstars?
Well, that's a good question, Savannah. There's an answer to that, because I am now hosting a 30-minute Popstart show called Popstart Plus on our streaming channel Today All Day. You get the latest in entertainment, celebrity news, and some amazing moments from the Today Vault. It is weekdays at 12:30 p.m. You go to today.com to watch, and we invite you to join us today.
All right. Thank you, Carson.
Coming up next on Today Talks in the third hour, the gang goes full on Overheard on Third.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now. For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends of today in a whole new way.
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas. Weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. Today in the third hour, it's Overheard on Third, and the gang shows us an impressive and spooky house just in time for Halloween. Take a look.
So excited. We have exhumed Overheard on Third.
Not exhumed.
For Halloween.
Well, it's Halloween.
Exactly. So if you're looking to an alternative to your daily horoscope, you might want to turn to Noodle the Pug. Noodle has captivated TikTok with his daily mood and through his bones or no bones videos. So it's a kind of a prediction of what kind of day you might have. His owner, Jonathan Graziano, records a video of the 13-year-old dog every morning. If he stands up,
poor guy,
it's a bones day.
What does that mean?
Cause for celebration.
So you're going to have a good day if he stands up.
That's right. But it's a no bones day when he flops back over onto his doggy bed. That's when his owner advises viewers not to take any risks. It's like an emotional Groundhog's Day.
So here's the thing.
Yes.
People are so into this. This video has racked up more than 10 million views.
Whoa. Yeah.
And people were seriously like, okay, he's up. Okay, I'm going to have a good day today. And he's down. I'm just going to be easy today at work. I'm not going to ask for a raise.
No.
I think Noodle's just like, can you leave me alone?
I know.
He's like, can you leave me alone?
He's just living his life.
Just lay down.
He's like, I'm not a groundhog.
That's it, boom.
Yeah.
Speaking of bones, check out these bones. Alan Perkins decorated his Ohio home for Halloween. It looks like a giant skeleton is breaking out of the house. And he said he actually didn't damage his actual roof to make this. He's had an idea for a few years and finally brought it to life. Look
at that.
Unbelievable.
I love people that go overboard with Halloween.
Did you
I love. We never did, but like I love when I drive by a house or in New York. You go by a building or a townhouse and it's just got incredible decorations. So
people
cool.
are spending more, I think, on Halloween decorations.
They
than
are
actually on Christmas.
We live in a building, and there's one floor in our building where they go insane. That the kids get off the elevator and the kids just start crying because it's so scary. But I love that. Yes. I think that's fun. That's the Halloween spirit.
Growing up, did you guys decorate a house or
We did a
like
little
that?
bit, but we never went overboard.
Well, there was decorations, but involved toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly. We
you
did a lot of that. Yeah.
Now, speaking of Halloween, Huffington Post spoke to nutritionists about giving out healthy candy or alternative snacks to trick-or-treaters. It's a bad idea. Don't do that.
No apples.
No, they say depriving kids of candy could actually lead them to binge on candy later in larger quantities. So
You know what? I can attest to
Yes.
that in my own house because I was a stickler and still kind of am about candy and no gum. I talked about this. And what's happened is I've created a monster because then now when they get it, they go crazy. So I think, slow and steady runs the race.
You know what was the worst was the pennies. You get to somebody's house and they got like a jar of pennies. It was
What's
like,
that?
what? What is that? And it's gross.
Yeah.
What's your worst candy?
Like one of those like sort of hard rock candies that you just don't even know what it is, and you're like,
like ambiguous.
Candy? Are you a fan of the candy corn?
Yeah, I can do a good candy corn.
Really?
Love candy corn.
See, that's an oxymoron. There is no good candy corn.
Yeah, there is.
So you don't like candy corn?
It's colored wax.
Yeah.
With sugar.
Yeah.
With sugar.
And by the way, the fun size candy bars.
Yes.
They're not fun.
Well, they're fun. You just eat 100 of them.
They're not, but that's not fun.
You eat like 5 candy bars.
You know what would be a fun size bar?
What?
3 times as big as a normal candy.
So there you go. If
That's
you're going
fun.
trick-or-treating,
Just
go to
eat your
Mr.
way
Roper's
in,
house.
hollow it out, and just live there. Hey, by the way, we're looking to answer your kitchen conundrums, this time all about Halloween. So go to our third hour today on Instagram or Twitter. Send us your questions, and we're going to try to make cooking this time of year a little less scary.
That would be cute. All right. Coming up on Hoda and Jenna, it's Tuesday, where we let you pick our outfits for the week. Today, one of our producers helps style us. Don't miss it.
apron for a new podcast, Cooking Up a Storm with Al Roker.
My forecast, yummy.
Some of the best chefs spill the beans on family secrets to get you ready for Thanksgiving.
This is fun. Bringing the heat for the holidays.
Follow now wherever you get your podcasts.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
People really don't know what's going to happen. Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. More good people than bad people, you know, right? 5 seconds. 4, 3. There is some late-breaking news. 4 hours into the Iowa caucuses by the banter with everything.
All right, it just did too.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Grab your apron for a new podcast, Cooking Up a Storm with Al Roker.
My forecast, yummy.
Some of the best chefs spill the beans on family secrets to get you ready for Thanksgiving.
This is fun. Bringing the heat for the holidays.
Follow now wherever you get your podcasts.
People really don't know what's going to happen. Nearly a dozen hours after the eye roared ashore. More good people than bad people, you know, right? 5 seconds. 4, 3. There is some late-breaking news. 4 hours into the Iowa caucuses by the banter with everything.
All right, it just did too.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. Today on Hoda and Jenna, we go unscripted.
All right, so this is an interesting topic. So sometimes when a couple splits up, the woman would like to hold on to the name because she wants to. And this is what happened in Kevin Hart's case.
Yes.
He and his wife got divorced. His ex is Tori. Yeah, she made headlines because she defended her decision to hang on to his last name. She said, I'm going to be a Hart until I decide not to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
She says she's been asked by women why she still holds on to the Hart name. Her response, because it's mine.
Yeah, I think that is an interesting thing. By the way, something so crazy about last names in the beginning, when my parents first got married in Egypt and came here, the way they do it in Egypt is the woman holds on to her family name because how disrespectful to your father and your lineage to just say, well, that's gone. Now I'm this. So you hold on to your last name, and that's just the way it is. So when my parents came here many years ago in the 60s, they tried to book a hotel, and they had different last names. And they had a rule at that hotel that you could not book a hotel unless you were married. And they said, well, we are married. And they said, well, no, you're not. Look at your last names. So they found it peculiar that when you came here, you immediately took someone else's name, kind of said goodbye to your family in that way. They saw it. And then, so when you think about how sometimes Middle Eastern countries are seen as really backwards, how kind of progressive that
is
was.
for the woman to keep her name. It's so interesting because both of us have slightly complicated names.
Yes.
Yours because people couldn't pronounce it.
By a vowel. Yes. Yeah.
And mine because it was Bush.
Yes.
And I remember I went to a big public high school, and I was always like, God, please don't say the full name. Just say Jenna. Don't say the full name. And poor Barbara had it even worse.
Because your grandmother.
Because she had a double name. But I think it's interesting.
But when you were, this is a big question for you because you're getting married to Henry. And I just wondered, did you have a moment where you said, well, hold on, I don't know that I want to.
No, I have to say, and as I've aged, I'm so proud of my family and that name, and I'm regained it. But as I was a child bride, as you well know, and as a younger person, it embarrassed me. I didn't want to be out. I was I couldn't wait to be Hager. I couldn't wait to call and make a dinner reservation with a name that nobody knew. As a teacher, before I got married, I went by Miss Jenna.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, there's something about, but that attitude has changed the older I get. I think.
Do you hyphenate or do you?
Well, was just Jenna Hager, and then I came here, and they were like, but you published 2 books under Bush.
Yeah.
So you got to go by Jenna Bush Hager, and now I'm JBH, and it all works out.
JBH does work for you, but I do think you're right. It's whatever makes you feel good and right,
Yes.
you know, to hang on to.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, she took her whole, she's got a beautiful group of kids, and she took them all to the premiere of her new film. It's called The Emeralds, and they all came on the red carpet, and it's kind of fun. Because is that what I say? The Emeralds?
Emeralds, but I was okay with that too.
All right.
Look at her whole family, they've grown up.
Yeah, Zahara stood out. She's in that sparkling silver. That gown, look closely, that was the gown her mom wore in 2014 to the Academy Awards.
Oh my
and
gosh.
now her daughter is wearing it.
So did you know that this is a trend among celebrities?
What, they're rating each other?
Yeah, that kids are wearing their mom's clothes. I know.
Okay.
So here's Brooke Shields' daughter, for example, Rowan.
What'd she do?
She wore her mom's 1998 Golden Globe gown to her high school prom.
Okay, that's so cute. Okay, Courtney Cox and her daughter Coco, they shared the same dress. Why is everyone the same size?
Well,
as their
that's
kid?
what I'd like to talk about.
Unbelievable.
I'd like to just talk about that for a minute because my mom is very small. And
it's so great.
She's like, she didn't have a big wedding, but she's like, I have the wedding dress in case Barbara wants to wear it. There was no chance that I was going to squeeze into that wedding dress.
That's so crazy, though, how these moms and daughters are also small. Supermodel Cindy Crawford, her daughter Kaya Gerber, they both wore one of Cindy's show-stopping bustier looks. Wow.
I like to say, imagine me in that.
Oh my God.
Not pretty.
Tracy Ellis Ross, she raided her mom's
her
closet.
style.
Diana Ross. I mean, oh my God.
I love her style.
Wait, that's a ringer.
Yeah.
Look at Diana Ross and look at Tracy Ellis Ross.
Tracy Ellis Ross has the great taste. Like, she always looks super cool.
She, by the way,
and in color.
She's one of the coolest people.
So, would you raid anybody's closet? Have you ever worn your mom's clothes?
Oh yeah, I wear my mom and I. Yeah, we.
You share her clothes?
Well, yeah, because she picks my clothes, and often she picks one for her, so we have the same thing. So it's cute. We do.
Do y'all
that.
ever match?
Sometimes, yeah.
You go out and you're wearing the same outfit as your mom?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like
AKA Laura Ashley from the 80s?
Like sweaters, like she'll get one for her and one for me.
And you both wear?
We'll both wear it.
Is this you in the same outfit?
No, but you know we like a cold shoulder at our house.
Yeah, I do know that. But don't you feel like cold shoulders are kind of gone?
I think so. You told me they were. You said someone. Yeah.
Somebody
told us. All right. It's Tuesday, and this is important because we're gonna get someone to help us pick an outfit, and we have a very, very stylish member of our staff.
We adore her.
We adore her, and she is going to choose what we're going to wear. We all want to dress like Allie Berger, but we don't have it.
Look at Allie.
Wait.
She's in a jean jumpsuit with a jean jacket.
And just real quick, this is Allie on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This isn't like, hey, put on something. This is just what she wears.
No.
So she is our special producer, and she's going to help us. And her equally fashionable kids, Joaquin, Valencia, and Lucia. Yeah, look at them.
Did they pick out our outfit? Yeah, look how beautiful they are. Did they pick out our outfits?
This is Allie did. Allie chose. Okay, so this is what Allie chose. Oh, I
Let's
love
talk
her
about
kids.
Hoda's. Here are Hoda's outfits, okay? Oh.
Downtown,
I like
Julie
A.
Brown, baby. Okay.
I like A and I like B. What do you think?
I can't believe she chose something cool for me. That's so unusual.
I'd like to see you in C because two jeans. Oh,
look
here's
at you.
mine.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom. You look cute in all those. So just go to hodaandjenna.com, our Instagram page, and reveal your pick.
She's very stylish.
Yes.
I don't know if we can wear it like Allie. Do you think we can?
No.
Maybe not.
No.
It is time for Unscripted, and yesterday was the 51st Annual Matrix Award, which recognizes New York women in communications. And I am so proud because my dearest Hoda Kotb was among this year's honorees. Here are some of the highlights.
Hey guys, welcome to Today. It's a Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hoda obviously does a lot. You know, she anchors the Today Show. She has the 4th Hour.
Hoda does a podcast. Hoda does Sirius XM.
I don't know which book she's on. I can't even begin to figure that one out.
She sews her own clothes. No, I made up the last part.
Hoda's story is so inspirational because, I mean, she just was up against all odds to even get her first job in television.
Here's somebody who literally drove around with a box full of audition tapes.
And everybody said no.
And finally, somebody saying, hey, you know, I like you. I'm going to give you a chance.
It's 11 minutes before midnight. I'm Hoda Kotb.
She has worked so hard to get where she is, but she never forgets where she's from.
Hoda does a serious news interview along with the best of them.
She's traveled all around the world, and she also has an amazing way of connecting with people.
And that's a gift, and that's what great communicators in this business have, being able to draw other people out. And she has that in spades.
I know you said your life's going to be purposeful, so what is it going to be?
I plan on continuing to magnify this issue.
She'll get stuff out of people because it's this kind of, hey, y'all, you know, hey. Their guard is down, and next thing you know, they're giving Hoda the nuclear codes.
She had been through breast cancer, she had gone through a divorce, and I think she thought to herself, motherhood is not something that's going to happen for me. And at some point, she just woke up and she said, well, why not me?
Oh my gosh. Kaylee and Hope love their mama. Whenever she FaceTimes me, they're having fun, there's screaming, there's yelling, there's dancing.
She personifies that. It was never too late for your dreams to come true.
I think Hoda is a testament to allowing things to happen in God's time. Things happen when they're meant to happen.
She's somebody who's ever evolving and never satisfied to stop learning. And to me, that is a role model for all women in communications.
Hoda, congratulations on your Matrix Award.
Your career is inspiring. You've put in the work.
And there are no words to express how happy I am for you.
It's recognition of all your hard work, that it hasn't gone unnoticed. And hi, even my cat, Sweet Pea, is acknowledging Hoda Kotb.
Congratulations, Hoda. I am so proud of you, and soak it in. And what took you so long, Matrix? Honestly, right? Oh, congratulations.
That was such a nice,
I'm going to just send you the clips of all the nice things I said. No, honestly, I guess there wasn't time,
sweet.
But I'll tell you afterwards. You are awesome. Thank you so much. And
New York Women in Communications, it's a nonprofit, and it raises money for scholarships and educational programs,
yeah, okay.
So that's cool.
You should go. Everybody should go right now and see Hoda's remarks at today.com. Today Talks continues after the break. We have an exclusive chat you can only see here on Today All Day.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today.
Let's go.
We're going to kick off the Pink Power and Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
What's the best thing about being this age?
You have nothing to prove, because you already proved it.
What does it feel like to be in a city that you love so much?
I am humbly proud that I stuck up for my town.
We all have the honor of helping reopen the doors.
Broadway is back!
To cover the news, you have to be in it. We'll take you to the front lines of the story, bringing your news feed to life. Streaming live every night. It's your news playlist.
Top Story with Tom Llamas, weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work, or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This isn't about spending going forward. This is about spending that's already happened. Do you accept the idea that we have a crisis at the border? The vaccine mandate. Is this going to work, or is this going to backfire? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Welcome back to Today Talks and our exclusive content you can only see here at Today All Day.
So we need to confess that since this day's begun, we've eaten a steak dinner.
Actually, if you'd like to see something, I took a picture to document, because this morning in our morning meeting, you hear a little door knock, and I thought, who's that? And in comes, I don't know if you can scroll in, which camera should I do it to? A full 3-course meal. And by the 3rd course, I'm talking about her coffee maid, was delivered to Hoda's door. And I'm like, is she going to eat steak and mashed potatoes for breakfast?
You know what happened? They had the cooking segment with the New York Times lady, Amanda, and she made this beef stuff, which was yummy.
Okay, and then I will say, my brain judged, and there was some laughter and photographs, And then once we started kind of talking, what did I do?
You know what you are? You're like me. You're like a mindless eater. You don't even know, because then we looked at the plate and
the
it was
beef
almost
was gone.
And I think what happens is, and I get this way too when I'm talking, I'm like, and then what? And then I look at the Dorito bag and go like, what happened?
I don't even really eat red meat, and I didn't have a fork. I was just eating the meat with my claws, one beef cube at a time. It was so odd.
That's right, you didn't have a
Why
fork.
did we do that?
I don't know, because we do it, and we did it with the pie that was just here. I think mindless eating is one thing that
We could both work on.
Last night, since we're confessing, are we?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, so we get these ice cream pops that
I've heard
are
about those
really
pops.
yummy. Really good. So Joel was out for a dinner, and the kids were asleep. And I was sitting down, and I was finishing up a book, and I was finishing stuff, and I ate one. I was like, oh, well. And then I opened the freezer, and there were 2 left. I was like, well,
You didn't go all
I paused
3.
a second. I go up to go to bed, and before I walked upstairs, guess what I did? I
You
grabbed
went for all
I took
3?
the third one up. I have a problem. I can't stop. And the only reason I stopped is because, number 1, I was feeling sick, and number 2, there were none left in the freezer.
Well, and also your children are going to come down, and there's going to be 1 for 2 kids.
And they always go, what's this wrap? They're so good at finding wrappers. Like, did you eat that? Or you smell like chips. I was like,
See, I'm not the person. I don't normally act like that in my own home.
You
I don't
don't?
know if it's like because I'm hiding from
Why?
Henry after
Yeah.
27 years of marriage or what. But Henry's that person, and you hear like the kids be like shaming him. They're like, oh, you know, daddy's gonna eat all our candy later. Like, hide the candy from daddy, you know? And I'm like, thank God that's not me.
Wait, have you girls picked their Halloween costumes
Oh, yeah.
yet? Speaking of candy.
Mila's gonna be a pop star.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. Does she like to sing for real?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, she does guitar.
For real?
On Mondays. Yeah.
She has a guitar? Okay.
She has a
that's
guitar
cute.
that Randy Travis gave her.
What?
I know. When I interviewed him.
Does she know like what a big
I've
deal
played
the
that
guitar is?
music of Randy Travis to her constantly, so she understands.
okay.
But and then Poppy's going to be Glinda the Good Witch.
Okay, cute.
Which will be cute. And Hal's
Hal?
going to be Elvis.
Why is Hal going to be?
Because
just
Mommy gets to pick the costume. I only got a few
And are
years
you and
left.
Henry going to do it, or what do you guys do?
Yeah, I think. Well, Mila wants me to be a pop star too.
Okay, so you'll go with her.
But,
And what
I
about
mean,
Henry?
And he's every year he picks like a hat in the closet, and he's like, this year I'm a. You know, like work at Starbucks. I'm like, well, that doesn't really work because we'll see.
That's good. Okay, that'll be fun. And I wonder
What about you?
We're doing like unicorn for Haley, rainbow for Hope. They want to do those, and Joel and I will
It's
be
basically inside
sun
Hoda
in the moon.
Copy's brain. You should call that inside Hoda Copy's brain. But somebody
best place
needs
to be.
unicorn, rainbow, sunshine.
By the way, here's the thing about life. Everyone was like, all these Halloween movies are so scary and all that stuff.
No, thank you.
No, honey.
No, thank you.
This is it. Whatever comes in, goes out. Whatever
And
comes
when
in,
it goes out, it doesn't go out the way food
Yes.
does.
And oh God. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Today Talks. Keep watching for more of Today All Day if you really want to.
You probably don't. We don't blame you.
We get it. Bye.
Okay.
I'm Shop All Day contributor Chassie Post.